We are now recording.
Amelia, your eyes are closed. I don't know if glasses are going to help.
They're now fucking open, okay? They're gonna be all wonky. Just gonna keep them closed.
Are we ready to start?
There's not a single thought inside that head.
La 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 la.
Oh my god, I love my plushie.
Oh my god, I love Rem. Rem's back. Okay, go ahead.
Anyways.
You ready?
Yes, go!
Okay. Fuck! Hello there! Welcome to the ReZero podcast. I'm your host, Wolf.
I'm your host, Gold.
I'm your host, Connor.
I'm Kyle's, and I'm pissed off that you yelled. You ruined my audio gain control. What the fuck?
He always starts like that,
always
Kyle.
start like
It's
this.
every single podcast.
I haven't edited a podcast properly in months, okay?
It's not like the one thing I keep consistent every time.
I'm adjusting your fucking gain. Hi, I'm Kyle's.
Okay,
Yes.
and before we were really interrupted, we were going to talk about Arc 7
Yay!
with this Kyle's, but I'm not too sure about that.
Wait, haven't we already talked about Arc 7 again? Why are we doing this?
Because I acquire attention, and I want my opinions heard.
Oh, I thought this was just to promote the fact that we're getting ready to start recording Arc 7 here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
That
soon.
too.
yeah.
Oh,
It's an ad.
right.
God damn it!
I didn't think that far ahead.
Synchronicity!
Yay! I can't fucking think without my glasses. Sorry. These eyes are gonna be awful.
They gave a plus 10 intelligence.
I do. I gotta equip them.
Well, anyway, we are here to talk about Arc 7 as a whole, which we didn't actually do a proper podcast on individually. I think we wrapped it up in
No,
our
we just
final
did
phase finale.
We just did a thing on the finale.
Yeah, we did it.
Straight
It was,
into
like about an
arcade.
hour, it was about an hour discussion, the finale, right?
And to make sure that we don't retread too much ground and say the same things we already said last time, Kyle's has just finished her entire read of Arc 7.
Yay!
Which, if you are part of our Discord, you can follow along her
My
book
journey.
club train on one of our channels.
It's mostly just me making sounds of pain and panic and happiness. I really don't add much into the equation, but you can hear my sounds.
It's like watching a reaction video, except it's a novel where you just hear Kyle's drop in every now and then be like, ooh, ah.
Oh, my girl's back! I fucking hate this character. It's a lot of that. No in between. So I'm Kyle. Those of you who don't know, since I'm not on the podcast often, some of you only come for the podcast. Fun facts. I am one of the co-founders of. I know our analytics are wild. Don't ask me. I don't know. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm the one that runs this channel and answers all your comments, which is why some of you have been commenting on the Arc 8 and further stuff. You don't get responses because I can't comment on them yet. I'm the editor for the podcast as well. I have stayed away from spoilers as best I can, and now I'm here to impart this decision. We'll talk a little bit about casting Arc 7. We'll talk about my opinions. We're going to break it down by character today as well, so that way we don't have to go back phase by phase, because you guys have already done that. I'm going to go character by character. I'll give you my thoughts on the entire arc itself, but the boys will tell me some key things that they had from Arc 7, of course, that they want me to discuss with them. Some stuff in Phase 2 and onwards, like writing choices, character choices, that kind of thing. But otherwise, we won't be rehashing things you guys have already covered, just to save your time.
Well, I guess it's just a point to start then, Kyle's. We've all talked about how much the three of us really enjoyed Arc 7, especially for my second time going through it compared to reading it week to week. Just general opinion, coming out of Arc 6 pretty freshly before starting this, what are your thoughts? How does 7 hold up to the rest of the series?
I'm so thankful we're out of that fucking tower. The feeling of claustrophobia that Tepe created was in-fucking-sane. And since we're recording Arc 6 at the same time, it's just like constant feeling of suffocation.
Yeah, you just want to get out of there as soon as possible.
Wallachia is open, at least. I mean, it's awful, but like, at least I got some fresh air. And Subaru hasn't been trapped in many like buildings. He's been outside for the most part. I love the characters. I didn't think that he could incorporate so many characters and make me care for any of them, but I love them all. I can keep track of them all. I think these are some of the best choices Toupee has made. So far, this is one of my favorite arcs. Now, Arc 5 will always have, like, a special part of my heart, but this is so Arc 5 coded that I love it so much. I'm excited for Arc 8. We will talk about it later, but it actually took me a little bit to finish up Arc 7 at the end because I was getting, like, really stressed out about it and I couldn't put my finger on it. But as I fully realized who Todd reminds me of in my personal life, I went, oh, yep, that's why I couldn't finish it. I've had a lot of nightmares and unable to fall asleep. So now that I'm done Arc 7, and I heard that there's going to be some points coming up where I'm going to be a lot happier about what he's doing, I'm very excited to move forward. This was it was an experimental arc, like you guys are pointing out. I have some different opinions on things that the guys did, but I genuinely enjoyed the Natsumi Schwartz kind of saga that was there. So we'll talk about that later. But I enjoyed that whole arc. I thought it was amazing. I love Arc 6 for what it brings to the characters, but I love Arc 7 more because of not feeling suffocated.
I am not surprised. I had a pretty strong feeling that 7 was going to be your top, at least between the more recent ones than the ones we've covered on the channel.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to love Arc 8 more based on what is being set up, but for right now, Arc 7 is up there.
Especially because it's brought your girl back to life.
I love her. I'm so happy.
Rem is alive. She gets to be a character.
She can do dialogue again.
I missed her so much.
Instead of
You got so much Rem.
So much Rem. Actually, not enough. Really and truly, we did not get enough lines from her. But the side content was worth it. It didn't go as I expected, but it went better than I thought it would.
So, okay, here's a question that I have.
Yes.
What was Rem and Priscilla doing?
Yo, Priscilla be horny as fuck. Girl loves her ladies. We knew that about Liliana, but I didn't know how thirsty she was, especially if there's something like powerful. Even with her dialogue with Amelia, like there was some tension there. She keeps calling her half devil, but like, girl's interested. And even Emilia was thinking about her a lot, which I'm here for. I'm here for that. Like, if Subaru doesn't work out, I think she'd go to Priscilla. I think they'd be fucking hot. Anyways, that's a tangent. But
a little bit of ice and fire.
It's just getting Rem prepped and ready so that she can engage in a relationship with a girl later on when she and Amelia can do stuff together.
You're so focused on that. Anyways.
Honestly,
let me have my copium of one per episode.
It is slightly copium, but you can also take it as foreshadowing, and that's a big stretch. And you know what? I appreciate that.
We learned in Remith that she is a horny Oni, and we love that for her. And maybe they just need to get something out of their system. Fuck to pay for not giving us that content, but whatever, it's fine.
God.
Wait, why didn't he write that down?
Why didn't he? That could have been less stiff. I'm just saying, I know it's not super related, but like, you could have just put the...
Yeah.
With the main ReZero story isn't making any money anymore, you just gotta write the smut instead.
Just Rem smut. That's fine.
Look, let's just not forget that in all of the ReZero content we have so far, the only character to ever be pregnant twice, mind you, in two different if stories has been Rem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
can
she's the
handle
only
it.
one. She's
She's doing great as a mother for Louis.
The only race needs to repopulate, guys.
I'm
sorry.
just saying.
That's the narrative.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, because they were talking about how later on in the arc that Rem was going to be like a empress consort or something. I thought she was basically going to be a concubine, because they kept bringing up that she's an Oni healer, and I was like, oh my god, are they just going to use her? My queen.
Well,
I don't blame them, but like my queen.
The Empress consorts are effectively concubines in Wallachia, that there's just a bunch of them.
There's a lot
that
of them.
all exist just to have as many.
A lot of them come from
kids
like
with the children.
regional territories in Wallachia to represent them too. It's kind of it's almost like their parliament in a really strange way. I know that sounds odd, but
Burstets, what's he doing?
But they do look for powerful people as well, which you'll come to see in the coming arc.
in the coming
But I guess
Wallachia loves
we can
powerful
kinda-
people.
I guess if you want to jump from character to character, we can start with Rem. Like, thoughts on Provincial Rem? Like, obviously, she's not the one that you miss, but she's still a great character.
She is. At first, I was really upset, and I won't lie, I was actually kind of mad, especially early phases or early arcs. Before she's on her own, I was really upset. I was like, no, Rem, what the fuck? But then, as time moved forward, you could tell that slowly but surely, like, she still does care about Subaru in her own way. Even the, you're not a special guy because you're not a hero.
Devastating.
After I recoiled from that, I realized she was actually trying to be nice, but like in the worst way possible. And she really just keeps putting her foot in her mouth. She literally doesn't understand. She's like, I'm sorry, this is straight facts. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it in a bad way. And then just how she treats Katya when she's in the mansion and like saving people, like that's the Rem I know. And I honestly, I'm very happy that she's not her old self because we can finally see who she is when she doesn't like, you know, kind of not dumb herself down around Subaru, but her whole focus becomes being in love with him. And she does shine and she is still very strong, but I feel like everyone just focuses on how much she loves Subaru over, you know, what she does. Or she like plans ways to get closer to him instead of actually showing how cool she is.
I think it's more that she's not living in the shadow of Ram. She doesn't have that inferiority complex that colors everything she does.
That's true.
Well,
Yeah.
I would argue she does, but it's not towards Ram. It's towards Rem. It's this
like Subaru, not
this
Subaru.
Oni that it's this Oni that Subaru knows of and is talking about. Mm-hmm. It's this healer that the others seem to know that exists, like Todd and such. The only one who really approaches her as her own person in the entire arc is Priscilla. Even when she gets brought to the capital, Burstedt's is still seeing her as her race, and Katya is seeing her as just an extension of the captors, at least at first.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. And do you think that this Rem was there the entire time and it was just buried under layers and layers of devotion? Because we don't really see who Rem is necessarily without her infatuation with Subaru, not majorly at least. Mm-hmm. Like that character was sort of hidden from us because our perspective and introduction to her is also Subaru's introduction of her.
Yeah, I'd agree. And also too with the inferiority of like her sister also growing up with parents that never believed in her and never really wanted her compared to her sister as well. Just being free and liberated of that kind of like all that weight expectation and then the person you cling on to has allowed us to really finally see who Rem is as a person. Because when you strip away all those key things that she makes her personality or makes like forward, we finally see, oh, that's who she is.
Yeah, it's almost as if we get rid of a Rem with labels and we get a more introspective Rem, right? Mm-hmm. A Rem who thinks, "What am I? Who am I?
And I love her.
What is my purpose?"
I wish she could, you know, get back to moving faster so she feels better. But Ram really did suck the life out of her. Holy shit!
Yeah. Well, you know what's very funny about that is that you see who she is through this perspective, and it gives you a bit more. It feels more grounded to me, at least, and I don't know about you, but like it feels like, oh yeah, with all the things that she has been through, her personality is a bit like Ram's in the sense of the cynicism, the sort of she kind of sees lesser of herself. You know, you get that more vocally expressed through the way that she acts. Mm-hmm.
And she's somebody who is really intelligent too. And I feel like we don't get that as much before she loses her name. But she's incredibly intelligent, just managing everything, you know, getting through all this stuff. Even though she's lost her memories and doesn't understand everything in the world, she's able to still conceptualize it to some degree, even with not remembering anything. Because unlike Subaru, who had his memories from, you know, prior to being teleported into this world or transported, Rem's got nothing. Like, she doesn't remember anything at all. So she's got nothing to cling on to.
What a good twist that is when you really think about it. This idea of, you know, we were wanting her to be able to be back in a sense, but she still doesn't have her memories, you know? It's just who she is back, but like she needs to understand who she is, and we as an audience need to understand who she is at the same time.
Yes. And the amount of fucking cucking they did, taking her away from it, I just wanted to see them reunite. I wanted everyone to come back together. I was so mad about that. I know I'm going to get it at some point. I've seen some art, so I know they at least see each other at some point. Yep. I hope something just unlocks, not like a full memory unlock, because like that's not normal, but like
that's a little bit, that's a little bit
like
cheesy.
Tinge of memories. Like if she sees Ram and she's like, "Oh yeah, definitely you're my sister," and then they start saying things that are the same. She's like, "Oh yeah, I see that too. Oh yeah, I do." Wait a minute, who are you? Or like sees Amelia and then goes, "Oh yeah, I've done stuff for you before. Oh yeah, I don't even know you." That kind of thing. I don't know.
I think it's really cool too, because Rem's journey, unlike a lot of, whereas at least especially for Subaru in Arc 6, his whole amnesia arc was trying to reclaim the previous him, not realizing he was moving forward by doing what he did, right? But Rem isn't going back to the point she was before. It's almost like she's trying to grow beyond that.
Yeah.
So, like, even if she were to get her memories back, which could not happen, it could, like, if she were to come back, that experience could change her in a way that makes her further along as a person and character than she was before, which I think is awesome.
I think, too, based on especially what's been removed from the anime about Rem, like, she was quite manipulative and doing some quite, like, awful, low-key awful things to get Subaru's attention. I think even if she is to get her memories back, yeah, like you said, like, she's not going to be in that same kind of mentality, or at least be like, oh, God, that was kind of stupid, and move on from it and grow, as opposed to, like, stay static and just stay always trying to get his attention and affection. She'll do more than just that.
Yeah, well, there's things that I think she's learned through this perspective that she wouldn't have had in the current trajectory that she was on in Arc, 3, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that this is a better path, and not only because Subaru's grown, but also because she's experienced new things and gained a broader appreciation of what she means to people and what she should be doing,
Yes. Okay, speaking of anything else before I move on, because I have another character I would like to talk about. But anything else we want to say about Rem? I know she'll come up with Subaru again in a minute.
Yeah, Rem has some other points I do want to talk about from the arc as a whole, but I think some of that can wait till 8 to fully address.
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Oh, sorry. Hopefully no buzzes there.
But I'm just very happy that we have her and that she gets really important lines.
Yes.
And it's so nice to see her be able to have a character herself.
Yeah,
and
it's
to
nice
let
for her
everyone else meet her, too.
Yes.
To interact with other characters, because the thing is, we're also told about this history Rem has with Emilia and Ram. Like, obviously Ram throughout her entire life at Roswell, and Emilia for, like, the year she was there before everything kicked off-ish.
Yeah.
But we don't know that relationship Rem had with Emilia, and she didn't really seem to have one with her. She was very distant with her. So that leaves room for some, like, really interesting Emilia camp dynamics that could come going forward.
Yeah.
Well, I think at the time they were cold, right? Rem and Ram and Amelia. I mean, I think they all coddled Amelia and weren't, Rem and Ram both had a very stoic personality and probably didn't open up at all to her.
Amelia
is my guess.
only broke through to Ram in Arc 4. So
yeah.
And
so
there's so many interesting things that could go forward. Also, I just want to talk, like, we're not going to talk about the character Garth yet, but I just want to say I want to see Rem and Garth interaction so bad. I want to see what that's like.
Seeing Garth interact with anyone this phase was absolutely cracked. He had so much good shit.
Oh,
he was great.
Garfield is an unexpected sleeper hit in Arc 7. Like, it feels the most out of nowhere thing, but he has
up
some of the most interesting chapters.
He's like, oh, wow.
He takes every single scene.
And he never really, like, he's even with Otto, like, he's barely speaking to Otto in this entire arc. Not that he doesn't want to, like, he's there for the important parts, but, like, he's so present for the weird groupings, which I was going to talk about him next, but we did kind of tangent into him, so it wouldn't be a bad idea.
I mean, who are you going to talk about before?
Julius!
I'm down to talk about Julius, because I think Garth we can group with some other characters a bit more.
Okay. Okay, why I want to talk about Julius. One, the other person affected by gluttony and memories. But Julius has, because he killed Balleroy and everyone's forgotten Julius, now everyone thinks Vincent killed Balleroy. And that causes a whole shit show at the end of Arc 7. So Julius gets off scot-free. We know about Balleroy because of Arc 6 and him reading the book. So we know it's him. We know what happened. And Vincent isn't saying jack shit. He's just like, yeah, sure, I killed him, whatever. But Vincent doesn't remember anything either. Does he think he actually killed him? We don't know.
Probably.
Probably. And also, too, now Flop wants to kill Abel. I'm sure maybe Medium is also in on that plan, because Flop only announced that while he was, like, locked down, which also did not expect, but I'm here for it. And yeah, so Julius caused this, like, whole ass fucking thing in Wallachia that he doesn't even know. And I'm assuming that's why Anastasia and Julius are going to help in Kararagi to some degree, because Julius is like, I wonder how this is gonna go. Maybe deep down, I don't know, because we got some side story content of him. But I'm like, Jesus Christ, Julius has done a fucking number on this country, and he just walks out scot-free. Good for him. Good for him.
I think that's a big benefit of you reading 7 right off of the tails of binging most, if not all of 6 immediately before it. Because the fact that Julius had killed Balleroy, completely forgotten by the time that Balleroy's name is even mentioned in Arc 7.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you barely forget that that's a name. I mean, like, if you're one of those people who are good at remembering details like that, it comes up, and I bet you week to week somebody's like, "Oh, that's that guy, the guy Julius killed," and everybody on the internet's like, "Oh yeah, right."
Oh yeah,
But
right.
But if you're like if you aren't binging it, and you, for example, you took a break in between arcs, there's no way you would have remembered.
I mean, to
Binging
be
and
fair
casting.
too, Arc 6 took like 4.5, almost 5 years to be written by Teppei over the course of it. So it like, and that is a thing that's mentioned in like the first half of Arc 6.
It
So
seems
it's
a little
very
bit like a
easy
throwaway
thing to forget. Yeah.
Now, I know you guys had feelings. It was EX4 that was about the Balleroy Julius thing.
Yes.
Yes. Waiting that whole time to then get that EX novel, that makes so much sense. I see it as a redundant thing now that we have Arc 7. Honestly, I might go back and read it just for the context of that whole scene. We'll see after Arc 8, of course.
It'll give you an idea. Yeah.
The reason we think it's redundant is because we thought we were going to go back and do the same thing, and we did not get anything that you do not already have.
Yeah, nothing new.
It's
quite literally nothing new.
It shows you the exact events that occurred, that transpired to get you to the point where you realize that Julius killed Balleroy, and without Julius's existence in the world, it could look like
Vincent set it up.
Vincent set up him to die, right?
Yeah.
But we know that that's not the case. After reading
Generally,
it all.
I would just want to read it just to see the events. I wouldn't read it for much more than just that. Just like, how did that transpire?
It was also the first
Just for fun.
introduction to a lot of these characters to the story.
Yeah.
Because this was, I think it came out before Arc 7 proper did.
It
So
did. Yes.
if we'd read it before Arc 7, I think it would have been more of like a hook.
I mean, I think technically for you, you would still get introduced to some of these characters first through this.
First through.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Same with EX5. I don't remember when that came out, but like I read the first chapter and a half before starting Arc 7, and that's how I figured out that Vincent and Priscilla were half siblings before even reading. So I wasn't surprised when that came up, but that was a thing.
Yeah. You read EX5, whatever?
Yeah, for like a chapter.
Okay, great, yeah.
And like in the first chapter, it immediately talks about Priscilla, her relationship with Schult, and then they go in briefly to Vincent and Priscilla being half siblings.
I mean, that's a good novel. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's one of the best.
And that's where I heard first about Iris and the Thorn King as well.
We also, we actually hear about it throughout the entirety of the ReZero story.
Doesn't Ram use it at one point to teach Subaru the language in like early?
I think it's in the fairy tale
Sirius
book.
brings it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sirius is the main one, though, that it's referenced in.
Yes.
Which is now relevant because, as you know, it's addressing when Priscilla is there, who is the child of here.
Yes, which is crazy foreshadowing. Also,
how does Sirius know, man?
Yeah, literally. I guess Julius is done. I guess we're slowly moving into Priscilla now, accidentally.
Do you want to talk about Priscilla? I mean, it was a pretty big arc for her. Yeah.
I think so. I didn't expect her to pop in when she did. It actually threw me off completely. Same with Al. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Why are you guys here? Why are you doing here? Even though I knew about the connection between the two, I just blanked it. And I seen art, too, that showed that she'd be there, so I knew she was coming. Didn't expect it then. Arakia talking about Prisca and, like, absolutely panicking over that. I was like, how is this going to play into it? Learning that Prisca was killed in that battle, but, like, similar to an Apothecary Diaries type thing where it's like that drug that makes you seem dead, but then you come back to life. And Abel was trying to get her the fuck out of there so that she could live, was really unexpectedly wholesome. And seeing Abel and Priscilla work together, you can tell both of them have that air of like, yeah, I'm gonna pretend like you're the worst thing in the world, but genuinely speaking, I care and give a shit. And you could see throughout this arc that Priscilla really does care about things outside herself, but like if it doesn't affect her in any way, she's not gonna give a shit. Or if it's like really redundant, she's just gonna be like, get out of my face, and loves women. And I love that for her.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's a good part about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's as Priscilla always said, the world just tends to work out for her. Like everything works out in her favor.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think you got to the core of it, which is like you get to see more clearly the care that Priscilla actually has for a lot of people around her. You know, she rules well here. And, you know, you see how strong she is throughout this arc and how powerful a commander she is, how worthy she is to be, you know, a candidate for king, right?
It makes sense now.
Yeah, and you see that, like, throughout this arc, it does start to feel like Priscilla's a genuine rival to Amelia, especially during the scene in which they fight Madeline together.
Yes, that was such a good scene!
That was one of my favorite scenes of the arc. Yeah.
I was so
it's one of the highlight moments of the arc.
It's honestly just also one of the better fights in the series. Like the two of them together against all of this power, including when Missoria blasts down at them. Exactly. It's fire and ice. This is your Jon Snow and Daenerys teaming up together moment. It's amazing.
It's so
cool. I love it so much.
But their bickering is really nice, and it does seem like they're equals in a way, right?
And they challenge each other.
Yeah, you see in like anime, like shonen anime, like there's the rivals, right? It definitely feels like they're positioning them to be those rivals throughout the story. Where like sure, Anastasia is like more scheming, and you know, Krush has the most noble intentions out of all of them, but she's far behind right now. And obviously the wild cards felt, but like it's really interesting to see them so close, and there's parallels in their camps to each other, you know?
Yeah. Amelia just like clocking Priscilla having a mom, like once she phrased it, just questioning. One, I love Amelia, always questions people about their family and checking in, but we'll come back to that later. And two, Priscilla actually answering was unexpected, which is what also showed me that she actually kind of cares and sees Amelia as an equal as well. Also clocking that Yorna is her mother, through like, you know, everything going on. And now knowing that she has the soul marriage technique, I'm
Isn't that
guessing
crazy?
it was used in the Liliana Sirius battle.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But they just didn't do the fire eyes, probably to push us off the thought, or because she was on fire.
It's because she was using the things people had given her instead of using it for someone else. Like
on somebody else.
Right, that makes sense.
Although they did hide away Liliana's entire form as she would have been hurt.
Yes.
It's entirely possible that happened and she just didn't notice.
Yeah.
Like, is that the fire and the heat from the tower that Liliana was feeling? Was Priscilla, like, boosting her via this?
It could be, because of the way that, like, Schult was explaining that kind of experience, too, is very similar. And it kind of cued me in to that.
Ain't the soul marriage technique something?
So cool!
It is. It's one of the most unique powers in the magic system as well.
And I also said that, like, this is the theme of the arc, right? Mm-hmm. How much love is stronger than just strength alone.
Yeah.
You know.
And the downfall of Wallachia, if the downfall of Wallachia means people become more loving and caring, fine. Let it burn.
I think it's also the ultimate message of why Vincent is a different emperor, why Priscilla is a good king, why Lagunica, despite all its flaws, has a lot of potential, because the idea that everyone is stronger together and that love makes you stronger goes antithesis to the kind of conservative Wallachian ideology about how things are.
Yeah.
Where it's almost like this, like the old Sith Empire from old Star Wars content, right? Where like you it's strength above all and harness your emotions to be stronger, but you shouldn't be like chained by them. But here it's very much love binds you together, and that plays into the whole themes of not just the arc but the story, and it works so well.
Yeah, I agree. When Yorna and Priscilla both shared each other's soul marriage to each other, I cried.
Oh,
like
it's
a baby.
so good.
It's so beautiful.
I was
really
like,
good.
oh. And it makes sense. Also, too, Priscilla was fucking ripping at Yorna. She's like, I'm sorry for not being, or who raised you? And she's like, well, not you. Like, girl, she died in childbirth. Leave her be. Give her a break.
She could have come back. Imagine like little
True, there was
5-6-year-old Yorna showing up at Priscilla's front door and saying like, "Hi, I'm your mom."
Hello. I'm mommy. I'm mommy.
Hi, mommy. I just love them so much. I think that was such a wonderful way to end that. Priscilla deserves more. She did not deserve my hate that I gave her early on.
Well, she doesn't do a good job of making people like her per se.
No.
Yeah, what did
Neither does Abel.
Giggix say? It's like, I'm hot as shit, but I'm also a gigantic cunt.
Accurate.
Very, very much. But you know, it's hiding a heart of gold. That gold is typically melting on fire, but it's still there.
It's still there, yeah.
Yeah, and she will absolutely murk Al thousands of times.
Yep.
Just to get a point across. Yeah. Al dying 1,000 times trying to get her to say, let's not go to Wallachia is wild in the side stories.
Yeah. That's I think that's a thing to mention about Priscilla too, is that she's a character that challenges other characters, and not in a demeaning way. Like because from Arc 5 you get the perspective, oh, she must be a bully who enjoys watching this stuff go down. But what she's actually trying to do is challenge people and make them grow. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a way more interesting spin to her, that kind of like arrogant, haughty character, than the previous interpretation a lot of people would have of her, right?
Well, yeah, exactly, Wolf. The flavor twists a bit from her initial perception of the character, in which you think that she's only bullying people. But then you start seeing that, okay, no, when she's bullying Al, it's for this or that reason. When she has this pathetic, child that she has keeping around, that she's not just doing just because his weakness amuses her, right? Mm-hmm. It's to see him grow, right? Like all of that kind of gets flipped on the head or clarified exactly this arc, I feel.
And I think that's why it's so important she's the character that challenges Rem to figure out who she is, because Rem was probably the most stagnant character in the series before her name and memories were eaten. Mm-hmm. And I no longer say that as a criticism, but that's clearly a writing decision from DePay that I think has worked out in the long run.
Yeah, I'd agree. But especially with what we talked about with Rem. I
think Priscilla being that character that can kind of be a role model for Rem, but also be the one to challenge her and make her really think and be introspective is awesome. Yeah. Learning also, I'm curious what you think about Priscilla's ideology, where it's not just that the world is in my favor, but the world is my garden. What do you kind of think about that sort of stuff?
I like it a lot because it's very apt for Priscilla, because she talks about at her core, she finds things beautiful, and when she finds them beautiful, she wants to work on them. And you could put the same thing with Heinkel. She says one of the reasons she brought him along was because of how beautifully he handles a sword. Mm-hmm. And that's huge for her, even though he might be an ugly person on the outside with what he chooses to do with his body and how he treats himself and others. But she sees the beauty in what he's fighting for, in how he fights, and the fact that he continues to, even if he feels like there's nothing left. I also see, like, Priscilla does that a lot with all the characters she interacts with. Like, she sees the beauty in every single person, but won't just let that be. She's still Valachian to the core. She wants them to find the strength in their beauty, whatever that may be, how it may be.
Yeah.
And she definitely likes cultivating people who will make her look better and also to, like, be almost, like, worthy of her praise and her love. Because she can make you a soul marriage candidate should she choose to, which I'm sure Schult and Al are. And, like, probably Liliana as well with that smooch. Now we know why that happened.
That was my assumption when we saw that kiss in the anime.
Yeah, especially with how Yorna goes and kisses Subaru during the 11 seconds of hell.
11 seconds of hell.
11 seconds of hell, which we'll get to as well.
Well, I think that it's very funny that, one of Priscilla's powers is kissing people. I think that that
I
fits
think she
very
kissed
well.
Rem in the bath. I think she definitely did.
I think she did more than that, but yeah. No.
Ayo!
She's almost a contrast to a character she never interacts with, which is Todd, where Todd kind of, like, exemplifies what is completely wrong with Wallachia at its height. Priscilla, like, exemplifies everything that's good about Wallachia, in a way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would agree with that.
This is a quick tangent because I like bringing it up because nobody else would. What do you think about her relationship with Archaea? Just this character.
So interesting considering, like, I was confused. So Archaea and her were, like, raised together.
Yep.
Which already is a little bit of a question mark to me as well.
And she was sort of like a servant of her, like a bodyguard from a young age.
Let's be honest, she was Priscilla's pet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like
that makes
slave.
sense.
No, like even literally, like she was her indentured guard. Like she was she was sold to her as like a fighter to keep her safe.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And I feel like, I don't know how it went down, but when Prisca dies, Priscilla is made. I guess that's when Archaea goes off and
The deep end
becomes the Divine General, and then all that power is used for, whoever's hiring, really. Because Archaea's just lost. And I feel so bad for her because she doesn't deserve to deal with that. But clearly, Priscilla did not trust her enough to take her with her. So there's got to be something underlying, or just she couldn't grab her and go like she wanted. That could also be a thing. But it's strange that Priscilla is so dismissive and, like, pushes Archaea away. Because normally with everyone else in the arc, she's been very kind and caring in her strange way. But with Archaea, she seems almost so, like, I want nothing to do with you. Never look at me again. Die.
Isn't that just such a strange contrast, though? Right?
Yes. It's so uncomfortable. It's like, whoa, wait.
You're like, why are you being so mean to her? This person needs you the most. Yeah.
When we were talking about how Priscilla kind of, like, is a character that makes characters around her grow, I think that kind of tells you that if she's not being kind to Archaea, she probably thinks that that's for her best interests.
Yeah, because I feel like Archaea would not have become what she was if she just stayed by Priscilla's side her whole life. So her wanting to, have Priscilla have everything in life probably is what Priscilla is anti.
Her being pretty miserable now is still a sad state that we leave off in Arc 7, though.
Yeah, poor thing.
Yeah, it's basically just a weapon for Todd to aim at whatever he needs to.
Yeah. Also, fucking hate him. I hate him so much. I guess
we'll get to the most interesting character in a moment. But if we can move off of Priscilla, maybe we should talk to Abel instead, as he's kind of our secondary main character this whole time.
Abel.
So I love Vincent. I think he's one of my favorite characters in Arc 7. I don't think that's a hot take at all.
Oh, really? Why?
Because he's there the whole time, and he gives Subaru shit, which all my favorite characters do. All of them give Subaru a hard time.
This is why he plays Julius and why he
so he can be your accuracy.
Yeah.
This is why I'm Julius, Rom, and Abel.
He sees himself in Julius. He sees himself bullying Wolf and Subaru.
Which he does.
It's all cycle.
Yes, let's talk about Abel. He drove me fucking nuts.
Good. Yes. It's insufferable in some parts, but
when
you can't help but respect him and listen to him, though.
in a way, yes. When Amelia comes in and says, "Yeah, he's not my cup of tea," I was like, "Oh, girl." I forgot how similar we were. Oh my god, so insufferable. Like, the tsundere energy is fucking insane. Just spit it out. Say what you want.
Yeah,
it's so Priscilla coded, but without.
He schemes. Yeah, he schemes very heavily, but he's not very pointed about what he's scheming about.
No!
And you could tell very clearly that, like, something he disagrees with very heavily, but he's just bottling it up until the moment that he can be like, "See, I was right.
Yes.
I was right." You know?
And you're like, shut the fuck up. You probably weren't right. And I just woke up. It just worked, okay? Fuck. We're currently watching Elementary, which is like the modern day Sherlock. And Sherlock is just giving me all Abel energy. It's just insane.
He's pretty Sherlocky, yeah.
Yeah. But to be fair, I don't blame the guy. The fact that he closed both his eyes when he was with Chisha was insane. That, like, before I even read Chisha's chapter, like the named one, I was like, oh shit, the only person he's trusted so far, what the fuck? Thankfully he didn't get murked, but Abel just seems like a really, like, once you learn a bit more about him, the way he conducts himself makes a lot of sense. He seems like a very anxious person, and I don't blame him, and not in like a negative way, but he's constantly afraid, not necessarily afraid, but aware that somebody could kill him at any moment. And he doesn't sleep. Dog, how do you not sleep?
He's never living in the present or past. He's always living in the future.
Yeah. Like, let this man rest.
He never lets himself show any vulnerability. And it's created this sort of cage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a very cagey person. He doesn't trust anybody, he only rules through, you know, what is effectively, you know, intelligent. You know what I mean? He kind of positions people. He's the ultimate chess player, and that's basically like what we see throughout this arc. Everything that he does comes to pass, but we see the flaws in his plans.
Yes.
In the way in which it affects the human heart. Right. That's something that he doesn't understand very well. You know, and it.
Oh, go ahead.
It's kind of coming to the seams at the end of the arc, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he seems to like be coming undone at the end, which is like really sad and scary to see, considering how he's been conducting himself this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because Chisha is now dead, for what we presume. So, like, that makes sense why he would be like that, especially with the one person he trusts more than anyone. Yeah, he is just such an interesting character. I don't hate him, by the way, as I call him insufferable. I mean it in like I can literally hear your voice as I'm reading his stuff. And I'm like, oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
He'd be the most annoying person to actually talk to and hang out with in this entire archive thing. I mean, CC's annoying too, but it's annoying in a different way.
It's just like CC's too much all at once, and Abel's not enough in a long period of time. You're like, mesh the two together.
I think what makes him a great character, though, is that when you do see those moments of vulnerability, they feel especially effective because of how cagey of a person he is.
Yeah.
Yes. Also, that is not a shot at either of you, by the way, for being people like that. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but sometimes, yeah. Like, I'm not that kind of person. Like, I am impatient as fuck. Like, I can't wait. I can't be calculated. So somebody is, like, that shit just, like, how do you do that? That's not fair.
I think it's interesting, too, because Abel is, like, he kind of has he's very similar to Priscilla in a lot of ways, but he has like a different angle than she does, where he does care about people and he does want to do the right thing, but he is more of like a master plan. Priscilla's the one who goes and does things and goes through action. Vincent uses his words to play the world around him to get it into the position he wants, and that makes him a lot more of like a calculating sort of like evil motherfucker vibes, but he's not. The
difference to me, I think, is the way that Priscilla shows her appreciation openly. You know, there's you can earn her respect and she will let you know it, whereas Abel, he probably doesn't realize that he should be doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he'll never
I
let
think
you know.
that's something that he has to learn.
I also wanna ask specifically about what you think about Abel and Subaru's relationship.
I was just about to talk about that. Perfect.
Yeah, because I think he's one of the best foils to Subaru in the story. Yeah.
Yes. I'd agree. Not only that, but like, you could tell he actually sees value in Subaru, and not just like bullying for the sake of bullying him. He sees that like there's so much more to Subaru. Even though he's suspicious about him, he still keeps him around. Even with the Louis stuff, like that was absolutely calculated when he's like sending them away, essentially. Or like maybe not a full calculation, but he's like, if I send them away, maybe we can get more work done, kind of thing.
I mean, if you really think about the long scope of his plan, if it actually fully went ahead, he would have made Subaru Emperor of Wallachia after him, very likely. That is a decent chance that could have been a thing that could have happened.
Which is like also fucking insane, but probably because Subaru gives, like similar to how Julius reacts with Subaru, like Subaru shows the ideals that they wish they could show openly, but it's seen as a weakness almost. But
Yes.
Subaru does it so brazenly that like you can't be embarrassed because he's just so like, well, yeah, why the fuck would you do this?
And I forgot to mention this part of his character. It's the self-sacrificing nature of it, right?
Yes.
Vincent's doing this because he thinks that he would rather sacrifice everything for his country.
Yeah.
And he doesn't need to make any relationships because he doesn't really care about himself. That's sort of the idea.
Yeah, one less thing to lose for others. And also, if he doesn't bring people around him, he doesn't have to care, so it's easier to just let go.
And it's also another thing that makes him a great foil for Subaru, because he's kind of got like the opposite lesson that Arc 4 Subaru learned and that he's been sticking with, right? Which
Yeah.
is the hard path is to love everyone and yourself. And Subaru's on that journey of discovering self-love. Whereas Vincent, he doesn't exactly hate himself per se, but he doesn't allow himself joy. Is the big thing, because he thinks it will be more painful, not just to him, but to the people around him, because he quote unquote feels doomed to die.
Fuck everyone being like, are you sure that's his son? I don't think he's ever banged a woman before, is insane. Like, this poor guy, let him be.
He gets no hose.
No hose. But
Well,
chooses
he
to
says
get
no to them all.
yeah, he says no to them all. He gets the baddest bitches in the Empire. He does not want to do it. And also, too, like, he probably doesn't either want A, collateral, B, to care about somebody or something, or C, have to, like, deal with that kind of lineage. At least with Subaru, he can, like, appoint him, be like, yeah, you're good enough.
It's what
I don't know if it's... Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll say, I don't know if it's mentioned, but his father had too many children, and then they all killed each other. So I think he's avoiding that too. Yeah.
That's I learned that just as Lamia pops up at the end of the arc. Dead Lamia, zombie Lamia. And the reason why I wasn't angry with him not saving Lamia is it seems like she went off with the other siblings to kill Abel and Priscilla. So he teamed up with Priscilla to save her. Get the power. He takes on the power and that stuff so Priscilla can go do other things. Which then makes her king's candidate of Lagunica, and that could mean two siblings ruling two countries. So that's kind of pretty pog.
But it's really fun to have a male character similar onto the Julius scale with Subaru that they aren't gonna like. They're not going to be friends, kind of vibe.
And Amelia
almost.
clocks it too.
Right,
She's like, you
yeah.
remind me of this.
Yeah, that him and Subaru are opposed in such a way that their relationship kind of goes beyond, but also not as far as friendship. It's kind of interesting, right? Like,
Which is also interesting that Abel gets blamed for Baloray's death when Julius did it. So I'm wondering, is it because they have that weird, like, in between of the memory of like, it's almost like a blur that it was Julius, and so they just kind of input Abel instead, or like, what of it? Yeah. That's super intriguing to me, because I'm still stuck on gluttony. And also, too, Louis. I guess we're going to move on to Louis now.
I would actually like one thing before we ask is his relationship with Chisha.
Yeah.
A very important
Yeah,
part
that's
that
super
shows
important.
his vulnerability, and also that Chisha dying instead of him not only is a lesson to Abel, because think of it from this perspective, right? Abel has gone through his entire life now at this point.
Yeah.
His entire adult and adolescent life, building up to the moment he's going to die, thinking that he's going to keep away from everyone and that he won't hurt anyone if he dies by doing that.
Yeah.
Not realizing that he would be hurting Chisha by resigning himself to dying. And that when he's hurt when Chisha dies...
Oh my gosh!
That
at
is-
the very end of the arc. He seems
It's thrown back into his face. Like,
Yeah.
Chisha challenges Abel in a way no one else has to really think about that sort of stuff. What do you think about all of that in general?
Well, he's the only person in the world who's been able to replicate Abel to a T. So it makes sense of all people to do it would be Chisha. And also, too, like, they had been friends for so long, probably the only person Abel has ever, genuinely the only person Abel's ever trusted and consistently throughout his life. I think with that, the one person to actually outsmart Abel being Chisha, it makes sense. It makes sense that Chisha could see the one, outlier in this prophecy, the one thing that Vincent overlooked, and probably one of the first things he's ever fully overlooked in a way that he couldn't,
Understand.
talk himself out of. Because,
If the prophecy says like Vincent Valaquia dies at the to deal with the great disaster, how can you, Vincent Valaquia, think that isn't the most cut and dry, black and white, carved in stone text of a prophecy you've ever heard?
Whereas Chisha, who's very focused on protecting him any way, shape, or form, is like, oh, well, I can be you, and I can counter you the entire time. Which makes sense why Abel's able to go and do all those things throughout the arc, and not want them to go kill Chisha.
It throws questions onto Chisha's motives for overthrowing Abel in the first place, right?
My theory is that he knew that the prophecy was about to be done because Ubilk was with him throughout. You see him anytime we see, Vincent Chisha appear. So I'm pretty sure Ubilk was probably in his ear like, hey, the great disaster is coming. So if you got to do something, do something. I think he was doing it on purpose to show a different side of Abel or prove to the people of Wallachia that he is a worthwhile emperor, that they might have, they called him the pacifist because he was willing to fight and regain his throne and kill the fake Vincent, even though he didn't kill him. But it could be rewritten as he did. And he was able to take himself from rags to riches, take over the throne again. He basically tried to make it a very, tight alibi as to why Vincent should be on the throne and why no one should overthrow him. And then, with that happening, it causes a war. So he can't be a pacifist if war is happening because of this. So
I think it's also interesting too because despite being a character that barely interacts with Subaru, Chisha is someone who kind of in a way ideologically aligns with Subaru a lot.
Yeah, finding ways to save the people he loves because he's greedy.
And it kind of adds this tragedy of, oh, what if Subaru got to know this guy? Also too, he got all the divine generals that Abel hadn't got onto his side, so he did half the work that Abel didn't have to do to help him out.
Yeah, and we know that Valachians care about might, so through the once again, not just the selection, which was a contest won by might, but then once again overturning it through a war, it seems like this emperor is fit to be the Valachian, king once again, or emperor once again.
Yeah.
And that kind of reaffirms itself. One thing that I kind of want to talk about is, what do you think about the prophecy stuff in this thing? I mean, obviously, there's a huge overarching theme about fate that is pretty
and the stars
and written in the stars,
Here
as well as just what can you not change? Because even early on, Subaru's dealing with the fact that there are some people he can't save, that sometimes you just can't change fate to that degree.
I think here are some of my crackpot theories coming up as well. So, one, they keep talking about great disasters. I feel like the last great disaster was at least 400 years ago, with the one that everyone speaks of. So I feel like this is the time. And it seems like Satella is somewhat involved with each one to some degree. Now, because of the web novel cover that I saw, I don't know how Sphinx ties into it, but she was in front of all the zombies. So I'm assuming that she is the reason.
This is Art,
zombies.
8 spoilers now.
Yeah.
Or is she at the end of 7?
She is. At the
She
end of
wasn't
7.
even in.
Yeah, it
No,
is
she
7.
wasn't. Well,
She is.
Nah, I didn't read her at all. She wasn't there.
She is right at the end of 7. I can guarantee you.
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Regardless. Anyways, but she's on the
She shows
cover.
up, but she doesn't have
name
any
her.
dialogue.
It doesn't
maybe
name
she
her.
doesn't.
Yeah.
have
She
one.
has
No
1 or
dialogue.
2 lines of dialogue.
It's a question mark, question mark,
Yeah.
question mark. That's why I didn't. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
But she is on the front cover. So when you go to open the web novel, you're on phase 8 and Sphinx is right there with, with the zombie army. So you could kind of assume like she's leading them to some degree. I'm assuming that, each great disaster has the witches involved. Definitely Satella. Satella ate 80% of the world last time. Now we have Satella and them freaking out over the great disaster when Subaru is taken away with her. So that was like what they thought at first, but then they're like, oh no, it's not. Haha, false alarm. But that was caused by Satella as well. And them being about stars, satellites, all that jazz. Of course, it makes sense. My theory, because Ubil keeps bringing up, like, even if you kill me, like, this prophecy's gonna go through, someone else is gonna come up, we're gonna come up like cockroaches. I'm assuming that Al either already is an observer or is a candidate to become an observer. I know he's already a sage candidate, but I feel like sage candidates can also
do
be
you
observers.
mean Stargazer?
Stargazer? Yeah, a Stargazer and observer, are they different?
Observers are allegedly something akin to like an eldritch god that's looking over the world and deciding things. The stargazers kind of get their messages from
them?
the observers.
My theory then, I'm kind of now that we have that, is Al is probably a stargazer already and has been hiding it, and that's why he's following Subaru, because that's his prophecy, or he was told, that kind of thing. And then once Ubilk dies, because I know that Al's gonna go rogue at some point, because everyone hears your stars are bad, and I've seen some spoiler art. So my theory is that Ubilk is gonna die, Al's gonna gain more power and kind of go off the charts, or because something goes wrong and Subaru fucks up fate that was supposed to happen or something, that Al cracks in some way and has to deal with stuff. So I'm not going to go further into that because I have no idea anything else. But I think Ubilk is definitely going to die at some point. And I think, well, one, now I know what our D&D campaign was all about. Now I actually want to play again because it makes so much more sense.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
Yeah. Also, I did not plan the evil eye thing at all. That was so great. Fiatia
Yes,
forever.
I know. Now you get it.
Now I get it. And oh gosh, what else? Now it makes sense why we were stargazers, I'm assuming. Oh, where was I going with this? Yeah, I had more theories, but I'm blanking. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, and then I'll probably butt in.
Unfortunately, we have answers regarding those
Yeah, we
theories,
have-
so we can't
okay.
speak too much.
Okay,
I feel
well,
like we
one thing that we
genuinely have
don't-
all the
one-
answers for what you're asking
One
about.
thing I want to, one thing I want to give you
Yeah.
a question on is, what is your idea behind the soul stuff that's going on in this arc with like Subaru soul being wonky and all this stuff?
Yeah.
Because this was something that we were stuck on a lot while we were going through the phases. We were like, what exactly is happening there? You
Yes.
know?
Mm-hmm.
So,
The soul, the ode, that
Okay.
sort of stuff.
learning that the Thorn King can not control the soul in Odlogna, but can withhold it and almost chase.
He
Rolf
hijacked
explained
it.
to
You
me,
are
yeah.
banished from death.
Yeah, you're banished from death. You're stuck. You're gonna repeat the same cycle over and over. Which, fuck, that sucks. So there's people who actually have the ability to affect, change, and misdirect Odlogna, which we've been to with Louis, who Louis's with us now, who's not Louis. That's a whole thing. So I'm assuming that in some way, shape, or form, people can affect the souls. I'm assuming Satella has some sort of ability that she can do something, or she can tie herself almost like a soul marriage with Subaru, and that's why they're attached. Maybe they
Yeah.
have some sort of affinity. But her losing him was weird. So
It was, right?
I feel like maybe because it was around the time where Yorna's soul marriage happened in the 11 Seconds of Hell. So maybe that kind of interfered with the one he already had with Satella. And it's almost like static, like if you lose signal on a phone.
Yeah.
It kind of distorts it. That's my kind of thing. Or you cover a receiver with aluminum and it just affects the radio frequencies. And yeah, I don't know how it did it again, later on and like, no, that would be the same time. Yeah, I feel like Yorna probably affected Return by Death somehow, some way with her soul marriage. Priscilla's never done that to him, so we've never been able to see it before. I don't think she ever would for Subaru, to be honest, but Yorna would.
It would be in line with the Witch of Envy that someone else marrying his soul is a kind of a big deal for her.
Yeah, I think that she doesn't like.
Like the ring would just kind of like send her away. And if Yorna is, well, her soul is Iris, maybe she had something to do with Satella at some point in time in her past, because that story is from 400 years ago as well, I'm assuming, or 100.
I think it's in the middle.
Okay, somewhere in the
I think it's one of the few occasions we have that is not from that time, or it could have been a lot longer. I'm going to double check.
Yes, I think it
might be 300 years.
I just always assume 400.
Yeah, it's always safe to assume 400.
This might be one of those few examples where it's not.
Good memory to Wolf.
300.
Ugard and Iris were emperor and his beloved 300 years before the main story.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah, so that's huge. Also, too, with, Stride Wallachia being the Sin Archbishop of Pride. That was...
Allegedly.
100 years ago-ish? Or recently?
I think it's like
more like
80,
40.
30, 40?
Right,
it's somewhere around there.
It's
Wilhelm's
living
alive.
memory. Yes. Okay.
Wilhelm killed him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And so, I mean, that's around the time that Al leaves Gladiator Island and runs away. So
Al leaves Gladiator Island much more recently than that.
10 years ago. My bad. I'm thinking about Roswell L. Mathers. J.
5
Mathers.
years ago that he left.
Oh yeah, it was recent.
Was it 7 years ago? I
fuck.
forget.
Well, because like we go back more. We go back about 10 years in EX6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he stays at the end of that. So I think he leaves much more recently than that. But I'm not
something
positive.
like that.
Mm.
There's a book about it that we probably can check.
Right. Yes. But yeah, I don't know where I was.
There's literally an EX novel that is about him leaving the
Gladiator Island?
the Gladiator Island. Yeah, there's an EX novel about it.
Ugh, I never want to read about Gladiator Island.
There
again.
is?
It was awful.
Yeah, I remember we read it.
He stays at the end of EX5.
Doesn't he leave at the end of it?
No.
I
Like,
gotta
he
read
has the
EX5.
chance to and does not.
I know something happens and then, anyways.
But I know they mentioned that they had to put a parameter up on Gladiator Island since someone escaped the years prior. And that's what help kills them on Gladiator Island over and over.
Correct. We love Gladiator. Let's go back to Gladiator Island.
We're so back.
Get your vacation tickets. Half off. Everybody, honeymoons at Gladiator Island.
I guess on that topic, would you like to talk about Al a bit? See,
yeah, he's
a really interesting one, huh?
He is so interesting. Young Al is interesting. He's so suspicious, but the fact that he's so there for Subaru, I wasn't expecting. Like, this is the most we've seen him in so long.
Most we've seen him ever.
Yeah, literally. They even made reference to Arc 5 at one point when I think he said heroic reveries.
Heroic reveries, yeah. He makes reference to Subaru's speech.
God, how did we fucking ping this name? All I gotta say is, look at us go. I thought Arc 5 chapter 41 was such a throwaway chapter. And when we decided heroic reveries, I was like, no one's gonna know. Now it's become the biggest thing. Holy shit.
I knew what it meant.
Oh.
I knew its power.
I didn't. I was like, yeah, sure, sounds good enough. Let's go.
Y'all, I think Wolf might be a stargazer. We should probably throw him to the wolves. Oh my god.
Throw him to the
In the land of wolves?
In the land of wolves,
Baby,
yes.
I'm praying
on you tonight.
No, that's gonna get DMCA. No.
Connor's pulling out his hair over there.
What hair? Sorry.
Fuck.
My purple hair? Can you not see it?
Yeah,
I
I
have
was
long,
about to
gorgeous
say.
purple locks.
Yes, your purple locks.
One very long purple hair.
Yeah, the one bang that you can just yank on all
Do
day.
y'all not cosplay when we record these? I'm in my wig.
No way.
Right.
Can you imagine? That'd be crazy. That's like an extra meta
Wait,
level
My
thing.
natural
We
hair is just
are. Look at us.
Amelia's.
We're on the screen right now.
Yeah, totally.
Hi. This is the real us.
Just imagine Amelia with brown hair instead and glasses.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't like that design.
I'm like, you don't like my design? What the fuck? I don't like your design, clown boy.
The elf design. Ooh.
Fuck you.
All right,
I'm a
moving
half
on.
elf.
Moving on.
Half elf.
Let's. Al is a mystery. We get more from him better
Yeah,
in
I was gonna say
in arcade.
the only thing I had was that he died thousands of times trying not to go to Wallachia. He hates Wallachia, and so does Subaru. So that they have another thing in common. They're from Earth. They hate Wallachia. Understandable. I too am from Earth and hate Wallachia.
I too hate Wallachia.
I hate
I
Wallachia.
like Wallachia,
Why?
but I'm also the only one in this podcast that knows how to fight. So
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, yeah.
See, I would just, I would be Katia.
That would-
I would just be like, yep, I'm good. I'm over here.
You'd have to be able to use
Please
the flow
don't be
technique
Katya.
first.
I'd be a merchant. I'd be one of the merchants.
Oh yeah, you know, I'd be a
Peddling.
merchant.
Yeah.
If I lived in this world, what else would there be to do? I would have to work out. Honestly, that would probably be a good thing for me.
True. But you know what's interesting? We talked about this a little bit. Actually, maybe we didn't in the D&D thing. But the idea is that, like, if there's magic around, it's not really that special to you. You'd probably be like, oh, I don't want to train my magic. That sounds exhausting.
Yeah,
You know?
like me trying to train my guns. Ugh. I have none.
Ow.
They're exhausting.
Yeah.
So sorry.
God, we went so off track. Okay. Another character.
Al.
Let's-
Al.
let's.
We're talking about Al.
We're,
talking about
well,
Serious.
Al
He's
doesn't
serious.
have too much to talk about in 7.
Yeah, he's
Maybe we should
mysterious.
move on to his counterpart and discuss the 3 different iterations of Subaru.
Yes!
in Arc 7.
There we go. Wow. I love Natsumi. Natsumi forever.
What a crazy thing, eh?
Yeah, I did not expect it. Honestly, Subaru's so good at it. Otto just being like, of course he used that name. Why does he go for that? Why that one? Also, the realization that people were figuring that Natsumi was the lover of Abel, and that's how Schwartz was. Says like, this is perfect. I love that. That's so goofy.
It's a good
It's
plot.
the perfect level of cursed.
All right, let's talk about phase 2 and how it was written, because I've heard, I didn't get to that part in the podcast yet, but I did hear from you guys that you didn't enjoy that writing style, but I adored it. I actually loved how they did this Zikr chapter. Went through the whole ordeal of Subaru explaining makeup and how to use it to the Shrewdrocks, because I thought that was just a really cool way of like exploring that, and then going into it, and why I enjoyed it, whereas I could see other people would not enjoy that.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Hi.
When we read Arc 6 in like scenes that I didn't like, we get to read it and narrate it out loud. I start to appreciate it more when I'm listening to
Yeah.
it all flown together, because in the moment I'm like, get me to the next
Yeah.
plot point. You know what I mean? But yeah.
With
I
voice
do want to
acting, that would be
reiterate publicly, like here, just to make the point clear that we didn't dislike the feminine parts of Subaru explaining to all of them. It was just that after having done we're going to skip to the important part and then go back and tell how we got there a few times before that, the last time had just gotten on our nerves a lot when we could have already pieced together the majority of what happened. I'm grateful for the content that is in that lead back to where we go, but actually reading through that was, and I'll still hold to this, I think an editing mistake.
We get into like a moment where we do a phase and then we hop in the call and we all agree, like we all have, there's a part of it that was kind of, and we all say the same thing and we're like, okay, and then we hop on and we're like, okay, we're gonna say this, and people are like, what are you talking about? Like,
What is
I don't
wrong
know,
with
that
you? I don't
you're
agree
being
with this.
exact. Well, it's also like you're exaggerating. I'm like, well, we didn't really like hate it or anything. We're just kind of expressing our
Yeah.
critique, you know.
And it's a valid
That's
one
really
too. Like when you guys spoke to me about it, like bit by bit while I was reading, it made sense. 100% agree. For me, the way I explained it was that like I like having what is about to come, knowing it's successful in some way, and then seeing the build up. Because for me, I get too stressed out, and then I don't spend time reading what's actually going on because I'm so like you stressed. I want to go to the next plot point. But sometimes also too, if it's a really big thing and you want to see what unfolds after, and then you get sucked back into something like that, like it would have been better if the makeup stuff came first. And I agree. If I'm assuming they did change that for the light novel. They should change it, but I enjoyed it because I liked that I know, okay, it's going to be successful. Let's see the process of them getting ready. For my brain, it works beautifully because I like having the, not necessarily spoilers, but knowing that things will be successful. Even when you're reading a story, you know, it's probably going to be successful. And Subaru usually comes out successful after, like, failing a million times. But it's just nice to know that, okay, this very intense plan that you're going to make that seems like it won't work actually works. All right, I'm here for it. I'm here to ride through it. Also,
Well
Subaru
said.
is really knowledgeable on makeup, like, more than me.
Yes, he
Okay,
is.
so
So,
let-
like, yeah, go ahead, Gold.
I was gonna say, so with that being the case, this is a very interesting theme. What do you think about it in general? Like, what did it mean to you, this entire Natsumi, cover that he undertakes here?
Subaru
This sort of like
identity.
empowering
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
Sticks with for a long time too.
To me, I really like that he kept it up, even though everybody was saying, get out of it, get out of it. It was not only a very smart strategic move to do, and I think that's what also gave Abel the ability to trust him so much as well, because he was willing to stay in that disguise the entire time, similar to how he just doesn't fucking sleep. So I think it gained him credit that way. And Rem was super opposed to it, mostly because she was just like, why the fuck are you doing this? But I think too, it's like, Subaru has always been comfortable, even though he doesn't love himself, he knows who he is, and he's comfortable enough with himself that his, like, mom and dad have instilled in him that he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He doesn't care what he looks like. He doesn't care what goes on around him. He is just truly authentically himself, and he enjoys being called beautiful by Priscilla. He enjoys, being looked at and appreciated. And honestly, when you got the looks, might as well use them. People treat him differently when he's a woman. And I don't blame him for the amount of shit he's been through, feeling pretty and beautiful when he's hated himself and felt ugly. And then he's like, ooh, I would tap myself. Probably does wonders to his overall, like, feeling. And he's always around the girls. He's always been doing Amelia's hairstyles and playing with Betty's hair and taking care of them. So in a way, he's been practicing this for a very long time. So I think it's just really nice to see him allow himself to have that kind of, like, ability to just dress like a woman if he wants to. Why not? Fuck yeah. Go off, queen. It's also a smart ploy.
I want to do a bit of like a guided question exercise with you real quick for this.
Okay.
So
A thought exercise.
What is it that immediately happens before Subaru decides to keep the Natsumi persona going on? Like the really big thing that happens to him right as he's about to take it off.
Todd and Jamal, yeah?
No.
Was this?
It is in the hallway with Rem and Al. So he's going to take the outfit off right as she says, "You're not a hero." And then Al gets into his head with his incredibly toxic, seemingly helpful advice.
Yes. Well, I'm guessing he doesn't want to be Natsuki Subaru at that moment. He'd rather be somebody else, because if he can't be Rem's hero, he can't be him. And for him, for a long time, it's been focused on, I am Rem's hero.
Exactly. And so with the Natsumi persona, after already succeeding once with it, like that's already good enough reason to keep it going because it's an established identity.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, who are all of the most powerful people, Reinhardt excluded here,
Women.
that Subaru knows? Every single one is a woman or a girl of some kind. Like most of the weaker characters in the show are men. Like Otto and Felix are like the physically
Subaru's
weaker
always
ones.
in non-combatants.
Kind of our only exception to that is Julius, Garfield, and Reinhardt, to the people that...
And Roswell.
And Wilhelm, I'd put there as well.
Yeah. Wilhelm's kind of in a different degree.
Yeah, he's a different...
As a parental figure more than like a peer.
Okay, yeah.
And like Roswell's... I mean, yes, he's
the
male
fucked up uncle
right now, but that's...
Uncle.
Roswell's gender is fluid at best.
He's a dandy, like his entire thing is literally like, yeah, you know what I mean.
Well, and he's probably inspired by it too with Roswell and his choice of makeup and dress and everything too.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely
So
inspired.
in Subaru's mind, like the moment he's told you're not a hero, to feel more powerful, even surrounded by a tribe of powerful warrior women, one of the most powerful men on the planet just showed up and saved him, fighting off another incredibly powerful woman.
Yup.
It makes total sense that his persona he needs to put on, this mask he needs to wear to feel like a hero and not lose that part of him, is Natsumi more than anyone else.
Yeah. I feel like that is definitely probably his number one reason why. And then he also adds on the fact that, like, oh, they'll recognize Natsumi Schwartz. Oh, they'll also, I'll be able to do this. Oh, I won't make a fool of myself with, all the stuff as...
I'll make the
Amelia's
point
night.
that a lot of the strategic reasons Subaru offers as excuses for this sort of stuff is an excuse and not the real reason he's doing it, which is more
'Cause
the
all of them-
identity stuff.
Give him valid counters of like, you don't have to do this.
Yeah.
You can take it off. Yeah. But honestly, I think it's good that he kept that mask on. I think it really helped him. I mean, it helps him in the long run too, but
Yeah,
I think it also helps keep them together.
It was certainly a toxic, because if he was doing it in a way that he was truly in touch with himself, it would be, I think, fine. I think it comes across a bit more, at least in the short term, as toxic. Because
It's escapism.
It's
unhealthy rather than toxic, I think.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fair. I guess the way it was written too, and the way I was reading it, I wasn't as focused on that part as much. Like, I saw people countering him, but for me,
it's an implied. It's more implied because he's being very careful with not letting it be seen as like a weakness.
Yeah.
But yeah, now on to the next part about Subaru, this arc. Schwartz. Schwartz.
Where Subaru starts to feel safe in this new female powerful identity he's built for himself as a hero. He becomes the most vulnerable he has ever been in the series.
But also
child.
the strongest.
Yes.
Once he figures out that he doesn't need to die and that he can rely on the people around him, because as a kid, you're supposed to rely on adults around you, he becomes one of the most powerful forms of himself we've ever seen. He is not thinking, oh, I'm not good enough. He's like, fuck yeah, let's go! Let's fuck up these bitches!
It's because at first the regression that happens brings him back to the vulnerability of being a child, which is the intention of the technique. It's to make you weaker, and obviously the 11 seconds of hell is evidence of that.
Yeah.
But it's had the unintended effect of turning Subaru back into a gifted kid.
Yeah, Olbart didn't realize how gifted and awesome Subaru was before he
There's a really fun moment of Olbart in 7 where he's kind of like he's talking to another character that he's done this to in like almost like a flashback. And he's mentioning, whenever I've turned people like this to make them more vulnerable and make it so I can kill them and torture them pretty much immediately, he then talks about the hypothetical person that could come up where they were stronger as a child, where they are more of a threat. And he talks about it, and then you kind of pivot to the real big intense Schwartz stuff, and it makes you really think that Subaru has really limited himself because of his anxiety and his not believing in himself.
Yeah. And that's a huge thing we lose as we grow up too, is like when you're a kid, you do way more things that you probably weren't good at anyways, but you give it a shot because you're like, yeah, fuck it, I want to do this. This seems fun. But as an adult, you're like, why would I start that?
But it's also that in itself is countering the kind of idea that Subaru is the average person, and not even in just and I'm going to say this like a further scope, that no one is the average person, everyone is special. And Subaru, as that gifted kid he once was, it wasn't that he lost his gift, it was that he lost himself.
Yeah.
And it kind of adds that element of like he becomes his own hype man almost, which is really interesting.
And you kind of see that with Cece as well. Like, I'm assuming CC's also one of those people that was way, 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 way stronger as a kid because he could just fucking zip around and not give a shit.
Okay,
we'll put a pin in that. We see him.
Yeah.
But we'll come back to him later. But I do
the another part of it is that like one of the strengths of Subaru's power is his belief in allowing other people to help him.
Yeah, which lets him change Corleones.
Exactly. And that sort of thing. What is the thing that Willem says? It's like, when I believe that you're not sufficient on your own, you gather others who are not sufficient on their own to help you, right?
Yeah.
And that is exactly what a child understands shamelessly, that they are not good enough on their own. They know at the very core of their being. So in this thing, without any shame, without any ego, without any pride, Subaru's able to get past that and succeed in the end.
Yeah.
And I think him learning that lesson kind of shines to that example of the story.
It also shines Subaru's leadership capabilities through really well. I want to talk a bit about like that with you. Like, what do you think about the whole like Pleiades, him leading people and bringing people together?
I think it's exactly who Subaru is. I think it's the side of Subaru that, and I think too, because he's a young guy, that a lot of people take him for granted at times right away. But when he's a kid and a child, I mean, you see this badass kid coming at you being like, will you support me? You're like, well, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, because if you see a kid doing that, you just assume they're a genius or something.
Like, wow, okay, sure, I'll follow you. But if you see like a almost adult kid coming up to be like, hey, would you support me in this crazy endeavor? You're kind of like, no, why? Why would I help you? So it just, not only does it add to like the outward appearance for everyone joining him, but because he can time and time again show how strong he is and just take everything on the chin, because he's done it a million times, especially when he's in the Sparka fighting. And when he finally gets that final one, he's like calling out all their names, just being like, yo, Whites, go do this. Hian, go do that. Idra, go do this. And he commands them perfectly. Like, it just makes sense that he would rally up attention. Then also being seen in this rumor as like Abel's potential bastard kid. And them I don't know, some of them seem to like not necessarily care for the Emperor as much, but over time they saw how cool Subaru was, how pissed off he was, and like how much he wanted to protect everybody, that they kind of like rallied with him over time. I don't know. I think Subaru being uninhibited by his insecurities was probably like the best thing that could happen for him.
Aside from it killing him hundreds and hundreds of times on Gladiator Island.
And the 11 seconds of hell. Too.
Yes.
That's another thing we should probably talk about a bit. What do you think about Return by Death Without Love?
Fucking brutal. Like that whole, I'm glad it was wrapped up in one chapter. I honestly don't even remember how he got the fuck out of it. Oh, yes, I do. He popped behind
came out
Hobart.
with the hide and seek.
Yes.
Or the tag.
The tag technique, yeah.
Yes.
Loophole.
Which, honestly, hey, fuck yeah, it worked. Having Louis there is such a fucking asset as well. God, it was so awful that he died so many fucking times. But without him dying countless times with Olbart and then countless times in the Sparka, I don't think he would have been able to come up with Corleonis like he was using it in the end, or Pleiades group, which is awful to say, but I'm glad he was able to figure that out, at least. And it wasn't in vain. I hope he doesn't have to go through that to the same degree again. And I don't think he will in his child form. I think he never will again as, Subaru in the older form, because he's gone past that. But I think young Subaru won't try to purposely get stuck in that again. But Satella she's a lady.
That is true.
He was begging for her too at one point, I just want there to be love, please. But yeah, that's why I think Yorna kind of affected RBD to some degree.
Yeah,
with doing this whole marriage.
It's a good question. It's a good. I think you have a good idea.
Thank you.
How do you feel about Satella being kind of more of a explicit ally this time?
Oh yes. Oh my god, when she refreshed everything, I was so fucking happy. I had no idea how they were gonna get through this. I fucking hate Todd. I did not want to see him again. I didn't want to deal with him again. I was just so thrilled that he's like, fuck it, turn around, too much going on. I'm a pussy ass little bitch, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And
he gets so scared so easily. He's like,
he does.
ugh.
And I understand. No, I don't understand why people hate that chapter. Genuinely speaking, considering she wasn't there for all those loops, that is a lot of love that she gives back to him. And like whenever he loops, even though he dies and it's awful and he hates it, he at least at the end does repeat like, oh, at least I'm not alone. At least I'm not with like by myself, or I love you, or this kind of thing. Like he's always with somebody. So I think each time she gives him a little piece of something to help keep him going. Because there's the miasma, of course, that happens. But it seems like the miasma wasn't even there throughout
No,
those
like he
loops.
didn't. Nothing was
None.
attracting the guilty low to him in the middle of the fight.
Yeah. So I'm assuming whatever she gives him as he comes back has the miasma, and that's what causes that. Does that have negative implications in his everyday life? Yes. But I think it's almost like as a compounded, you've died all these times and I haven't been able to give you your booster. Here you go. Here's it all at once. Let me reset the world for you.
She puts up a stink on him.
Yeah. Just like absolutely coats him in that shit and gives him a happy ending. Which
Really,
I love.
really bad cologne.
Yeah, really bad cologne that Rem fucking hates. But
Yeah.
I think it's
God, why do you stink so much?
And she keeps on sniffing him anyways. What a weirdo.
that's just Rem for us. I think it's really cool to see that Satella is definitely on his side. I mean, at the witch's tea party in the trials, she was on his side, 100%. So seeing that return by death is also a way of her being on his side is really nice.
The kind of the complete shift on like RBD without love shows the value of RBD with love. The RBD isn't a curse, it's a way of
gift.
Satella protecting him.
It's an awful gift.
It also pretty hard confirm, or at least I thought it was a hard confirmation that Satella is setting the save points for him.
Yeah.
Because she's able to go back to what we don't know exactly
I'd
what
say so.
day, like what checkpoint it brings it back to. I think it's still like the one that was an hour, 30 minutes or whatever before Todd shows up. But we don't have full confirmation on how far he went back.
Well, an interesting part about this is that I think that she somehow knows when is a good time.
Yeah. I think she is of course, connected to the stars and the stargazers. Maybe she is an observer or forced herself to be an observer to some degree. And so she knows what's the perfect route for him to be successful to gain whatever the fuck she's aiming for.
It's actually because it's reactive in nature. It's because it's Subaru making the active decision to use RBD to save the people around him that makes Subaru an admirable person. RBD is actually completely defensive for Subaru. Like, it's basically supposed to make it so he's not deadlocked into a death, which is why the 11 seconds of hell and the Gladiator Island loops are, like,
It's so scary.
malfunctioning RBD, because it's getting to the point where it's soft-locking Subaru into perma-dying, basically. So,
even like before the Gladiator Island Sparkas, he's like one of his save points is underwater. He drowns over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
Right.
He dies 20 times before he kind of fixes it.
that.
Yeah, Satella can't help him.
Nah,
Yeah.
she's gone, locked and loaded.
And it simultaneously shows, okay, Satella's an ally, RBD with love is a gift, not a curse, but also it proves that Subaru using RBD as an offensive weapon to save everyone is on Subaru's prerogative. He doesn't have to do that. It's essentially a tool to save him and him alone.
Yeah.
Which is what she says before.
In Arc 4, yeah.
She seems to only care about Subaru at the end of the day and what he wants and what he brings.
Right.
But that
which
also
is why the
supports others.
checkpoints don't necessarily save everyone else. It's
Exactly.
just always where he's where
He's
he
the
is
safest.
safe.
He's the safest.
Yes.
He looks the best, usually, sometimes not. Or he's set up for success in some way, shape, or form. Which also is why I think, too, his very first loop he ever did, he didn't get to save after meeting Amelia. It was before. I feel like there's something up with that, too. After reading this.
That could be a jealousy element playing.
I think so. And that, because she is the Witch of Envy, that also might be why Soul Marriage fucked it up too. Her jealousy got too much. She couldn't see the
It is
green-eyed monster.
interesting that the soul marriage, because like when he first gets turned into a kid, his like loop back point feels pretty normal. and like he triggers
Yeah.
the taboo. So maybe I never considered it before, but it is possible that Uranus' attempt at the soul marriage is what split Satella off from him, and that she started looking like, where are you after that?
Especially if Satella has some way with Odlogna to like manipulate souls, and if Yorna being Iris, if that could affect her ability in some way, and would Priscilla also affect in that same way? If she ever would.
We know from Arc 6, Louis, she says that authorities are the antithesis of Odlogna, or the enemy of Odlogna.
Yeah.
So, something to consider.
That is true. That is true.
That is also coming from Louis, though.
Yes.
Who at that point
Well,
in time,
she sees it more directly. She's lived this
but
her
she's
entire life.
She has.
she's also lying and manipulating him the entire time. And
She has no reason to
We
lie
don't know
about
how
that.
true that information is the point. Yeah.
All right, so we're back with Louis, right?
Louis,
Louis!
our Sin Archbishop of Gluttony, now turned into Subaru and Rem's adoptive daughter.
Yes, one willingly, one reluctantly. I love Louis, actually.
She's so cute.
She's so cute.
So loyal. I think there has to be some, not necessarily a connection between Louis of Gluttony, but like the feeling she had towards Subaru after experiencing his return by death. I feel like this Louis might not fully know about return by death, but knows how kind and good of a person Subaru is to some degree, and that's why she's latching onto him so much. I also think, and my theory is that she was originally like sacrificed or something in the green room. And so she was the spirit of the green room this whole time, because she just seems to love people so much and just wants to protect them.
Oh,
That I think she
that's
was the sacrifice spirit, or like Gluttony had something to do, and then they kind of like hijacked her as their little sister, something like that.
I never even considered that. That's a really good theory.
Well, thank you. Because she came out of there, and like yeah, I don't know. And the way her power works with like just evaporating and moving somewhere, definitely makes sense that she got Subaru out of there as fast as humanly possible, because she might have seen it as like an awful place for him. And since he was holding on to Rem, she came along too. But I feel like as she came out of the tower, or out of the green room itself, she finally came back to where she like was frozen, because it seems like she has the exact same body as Louis Arnab.
Yeah. The body's the same. Yeah.
Well,
The body's the same.
she has the actual like, if Louis Arnab had a physical body, that she would be it.
Yeah, but I don't think it's
Yeah.
the same soul necessarily. Or
Probably
it's like
not.
some like weird thing that Roy and Lay can do. Or that Louis does exist, the soul exists, but the body was taken from the tower when they
Or
took
her
over.
memories are gone, or who knows, so
Yeah.
My interpretation is that this is Louis without the rest of the memories that have been eaten. It's like it's as if
Yeah,
she's
she has
there with
nobody's memories or anything like that.
Yeah.
so,
She does have a lot of their powers from people they've eaten, though. Like her teleporting and stuff, and some of her fighting techniques are from some of the people the Gluttonies have eaten.
Yeah.
Right,
Which that's
yeah.
the strange part. But I definitely think
solar
she is
eclipse,
the spirit.
lunar eclipse.
Yeah. She's got to be the spirit of the green room. And potentially the first victim.
She's green,
It would explain how she's in the Hall of Memories if she's literally a spirit connected inside of the tower.
Yeah, I would assume so. Oh goodness, sorry. They just got in. They're okay. Yeah, almost like how Satella, oh my gosh. Well, Satella's down there, but almost like how Shala is guarding the tower, and well, Reed is on a floor and Volcanica's there. Maybe Louis originally was the guardian of the green room and then got put into Odlogna, or she was the original like person guarding Odlogna and the green room in theory. And the sage that was there before, Flugel, seemed like a pretty shitty guy, so I wouldn't put it past him to just throw a kid in there. Maybe she's
True.
part Maw Beast as well. Who fucking knows?
It could have been done to save her as well, like to preserve her in Odlogna until something else could come along.
Yeah, who knows exactly how it came about.
I feel like Louis'
Because
origins in themselves will have maybe actually some importance in the future.
They definitely have
We'll have to wait till the third gluttony is dealt with fully and not just captured to know that for certain and see what comes of it.
I guess that's true. I'm excited. I love Louis. So far, she's
great. I mean, it's funny that this arc is about Subaru's grudges, and he is a very human character that even after this sort of moment, he can't help but hate her so much. You know, especially after what's happened to Ram, right? He sees quite clearly how the scars still remain on her, and how it pains him to see that she doesn't realize this is the person who did this to her. You know, or it wasn't the person who did this to her, because who Rem is now couldn't even remember her doing anything to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it parallels pretty nicely to Amelia as well. Like, if you can forgive Amelia for, like, trying to literally end everyone's existence, cause so much shit, work with Elsa and stuff, why can't you forgive this Louis, who potentially...
It's more a test of what Subaru can forgive.
I guess that's true.
Gluttony, like, Melee has killed people.
Yeah.
Gluttony has done something which is genuinely, like, bastardizing life itself.
Yeah. But he could forgive Roswell for doing...
Yeah, he's not.
I don't think Subaru understands the full context of what.
Just like I didn't.
He doesn't. He doesn't clearly understand fully.
I don't think anybody's explained that to him.
Only Beatrice, I think, really knows what he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like they would do more than just smash him in the face.
I don't think I don't think Amelia would be able to keep that silent, and I don't think the kingdom would be okay with that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the only people that know about it are Roswell, Beatrice, and Ram.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Ram does.
He probably doesn't. I mean, I don't think he tells people things about his past. Because you remember, he doesn't even know that he was the one that killed his village until he explains that to her, you know? Or like maybe he does, but
that he was responsible, not
but
that killed
it's all about stuff that he doesn't tell her, right? He doesn't want her to be close to him. Like we see
she
that
explains to Subaru as well that when Ryuzu was telling the story of Ryuzu Mayor and Beatrice meeting each other, that this was not the Roswell they know now, but his ancestor from several generations ago.
Yeah.
And they're all shocked. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess because the thing is,
I don't think that Roswell. Yeah.
I don't think Subaru could forgive that Roswell if he knew fully what it kind of meant. Right?
Yeah, that's fair. Well, I guess while we're on the topic,
and then Betty's upset, and he's like, "Could you ever forgive me?" And she's like, "No, that is awful, I suppose." But
yeah, that makes way more sense, because I was like, "Why are you so mad, Betty? What is it?" That makes so much more sense now. Thank you. I was Amelia camp level. But speaking of the Amelia camp, since we're there, let's briefly touch upon them before wrap up
Yes,
time.
what a hype return for them all to come back in the middle of the ark.
Clutch. I'm so glad I read side content.
And aren't they like all written a little bit better this time around? I mean, Amelia's so fun in this.
The best she's ever been.
Oh my god, the way she just runs, grabs Betty, and is like, "Oh, he's not here? Oh, let's not wake her up." Proceeds to yell and scream the entire time. Betty wakes up. "Oh, you're awake?" Like, yeah, she is.
She's funny.
It feels like... Go ahead.
I was going to say, I had a term this arc to describe Amelia, and I said she's very handsome this arc. She feels like a little roguish. She comes in, swoops in, saves the day. She's like a little superhero.
She is, and she's so good. And she just straight up will tell people if she doesn't like them or wants to be their friend. Like, straight up, like, "We're going to be friends. I don't care what you say, Priscilla. We're going to be friends." And then to Abel, she's just like, "I don't like you. We can't get along. I don't see eye to eye with you." And I love her so much for that. And also, she's just taking on freaking Madeline and then the dragon. And then Cece, of all people. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
That's crazy.
But Amelia, just being Amelia, is beautiful. Garth gets,
oh my god, Garth.
Holy shit. Like, with Heinkel and him being like, Heinkel's new son, basically, a new protege, because, like, he can work with Garth. Garth is flawed. Absolutely flawed. That literally, Eddie's pushing Heinkel to do better and be better. And then he talks about, I'm going to keep saying Luella, so I'm not going to say her name, his wife. Like, he just briefly mentions it to Garf before, things go haywire. That's huge for Heinkel.
Luana.
Luana. Yes, Luana.
Luana. That's it. Yeah.
I'm too Sunrise on the Reaping brained. And then Garf fighting Kafma. Insane.
One of the best fights in the series, for real.
The egg thing was
so good.
But it was so good.
Yeah.
Garf is cracked. Absolutely cracked. He's fought in Kurgan. He's fought Kafma. He's fighting Olbart. And then working with Roswell to fight was crazy.
One of the most fun pairings of the entire arc.
It was so... yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite of all time.
I was going to say that, like, this arc, I can't wait to see animated. Like, Arc 6, I'm going to love for the voice acting and the drama of it. But, like, this arc, I want to see animated. I want to see the fights. I want to see the settings. I want to see, like, the cities. Yeah.
Like, that's... And Ram just joining in with the Shrewdrocks. I love that scene. Like, she just fucking went with it. They're like, yeah, you're definitely Rem's sister. All right, brave woman, let's go. She's like, all right, let's go. Rolling out. Jamal being in the group with them. Insane. Like, just the whole sequence of events was just absolutely cracked.
The climax of Arc 7 is so good, isn't it?
It is so good.
Oh, Louis taking Betty straight to Subaru was everything as well. Just seeing Betty come back to life was wholesome. The fact that she sacrificed herself as well to give everybody a chance, and then Louis just was like, fuck it, let's get you back. Which makes me wonder, how could she find Subaru that fast? Did she always know where he was? Or, like, she just sensed it and just hoped for the best? Or she moved that fucking fast, she went around the world.
Well, she teleports, so she can go as quick as she needs to. I think Subaru may have been trying to extend his Corleones Pleiades battalion to everyone else.
That would make sense. So she could finally get a dull sense.
I'm not positive. I seem to remember forgetting that Louis wasn't with him when they were attacking the Capitol.
Yeah, I don't know how Louis and he got connection, but I know that he and Beatrice have the connection all the time.
Yeah.
That they can sense each other faintly. Anyways, so yeah.
Maybe Louis could just connect with Betty somehow.
I think a lot of this Vega stuff, because of the way it's written to make it more dramatic, is going to come across more clearly in if it ever gets animated, I think. That's the sort of like nuanced stuff that you can kind of be like, okay, how that works.
And he's definitely been writing it like it's for the anime, as opposed to like how he used to write it.
It almost writes like a draft for a screenplay in a lot of ways.
It definitely feels that way especially with the battle part of Arc 7. I was like, holy crap!
It's improved, like his writing style for stuff like that has gotten so much better.
The jumping around was phenomenal. Like that, it was really good. It wasn't, like Arc 5 was really good too, the way he bounced around, but sometimes it would drag on, sometimes it wasn't enough. This one, everything was like perfect.
Well, we see how much he adapted Arc 5's, scene structure.
Yeah.
In the anime.
100%. And it flowed more like the anime, I found. And the anime flowed really lovely.
I think it's a big benefit is spending more time, if not the entire chapter, just on the individual fights and letting them play out more of their plot at once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rather than get fed piecemeal.
Yeah. Which is really good. Which lets us see Otto and Petra. Petra has come such a long way.
Oh my god.
I love her so much.
Oh my god.
Our little queen.
She's so cool. I love her. I've missed her. I'm so glad she
was using magic.
She's using
it's
magic.
So crazy. Light magic. That's a rare type of magic.
And it makes sense. You know what? It's kind of funny that she uses light magic
Petra
and
light.
Subaru uses Petra light and Subaru uses dark magic. I don't know. I feel like they are being set up to literally be like the yin and the yang of each other. Obviously, they're not yin and yang magic, but light and dark. And she loves him very much, duh. And he, of course, cares for her so much. But like the way her power is scaling, and she's just a normal gal who's like learning and growing just as Subaru does. I feel like they got to be paralleled in some way, shape, or form. If she doesn't have something like Return by Death or something, like...
She is also learning from the foremost expert in yin magic in the entire world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or yang magic.
Yeah, of course. But with that too, she's a great student, and she definitely has an affinity for it. Otherwise, it wouldn't come, as quickly as well. Affinity and wanting too. That always plays out. And Otto just seems like not himself. He's not goofy. He's so stressed. He's like, it's so hard to see him like that. But when Petra helps him, it makes me happy.
Yeah, he's been dealing with all the things that Subaru normally would deal with, and he's been doing it well. He's a very serious guy when he needs to protect his friends. We've seen that in times past, but it's coming across even here.
Him using his divine protection in a way that he wouldn't have ever before, that making him like basically the perfect logistics operator for any army on the planet.
But he's mentioned it time and time again that people with his authority die early because
his divine protection. Yeah, a lot of them have died in the past.
Yeah. I hope that doesn't happen because of the people he has around him. And the one thing we keep looping back to is if you got someone to, keep you grounded, it's good.
I would also to restructure the English of what I said. They have died in the past, but they've died haphazardly in the past.
That's true.
Yes.
Otto seems quite protected.
Otto's pretty set.
Yeah.
Moving away kind of just from Petra's powers, though, of just how well she did in her role the entire time.
Oh my god, constantly reminding Amelia about honorific. Everyone reminding Amelia about honorifics.
Emily.
Yeah, sorry. How dare I forget Emily? The fact that she's so mature for her age. She's like very... I see why everyone says she is emotionally mature.
She's the most emotionally mature member of the Amelia camp.
And I feel like the only time she lets herself go is around Subaru. And even then, it's just like a goofy little thing. But she's coming into herself, and she's such a hardworking girl. And, she deserves the world. She deserves everything.
Too bad she won't get Subaru.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm glad.
Subaru doesn't gun for the younger ones, and that's what we love about him.
Yes.
That's confirmed. Confirmed.
He might be a lollymancer, but not in that way.
It's very funny that that was still a thing that gets posited by people who don't watch the show, even though in Arc 6 it's literally his soul is seen by somebody else, and she's like,
"Oh, so you don't like little girls?"
You like don't like him like that.
Yeah. So it's confirmed by soul reading.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we love our boy.
Yes. Yeah. I think Petra's going to become one of the strongest of her time. And not only because she's learning under Roswell and everyone she's surrounded by too, but she's a natural born leader. And she's very good at what she does.
Isn't she?
100%.
She deserves everything. I think Shay's going to have a lot of fun voice acting as Petra. I didn't realize Petra would come into her own this much.
Characters pop off so much in this arc that
they really do.
I love that we finally are able to let the Amelia camp just be in this world, and we don't have to flesh out their stuff.
They don't have necessarily plot threads that are super dramatic or anything. They are just supporting characters in the but good support, good support.
Yes.
We're either seeing them actualized or in the process of being actualized.
Yeah.
Rather than them starting any sort of progressive journey on their character.
Yeah.
Even
because a lot of the times.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say a lot of the times we've had to deconstruct the characters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've gone through this huge catastrophic, thing where they have to, reassess who they are and their relationships to others, and they aren't really, true to themselves. But this feels like the truest form of these characters that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. And Amelia, she's fighting the dragon and Madeline, who eventually becomes a dragon. And we don't have to learn over and over again that she's gonna try this. He just says what she's gonna do. There's no and she has to fight herself with this and that and that. No, and Garth, we see his inner workings, but we don't see him try to fight to become the warrior like he did with Kurgan and his arc in Arc 5. We just see him go.
It's it's not that Garth is trying to figure out his identity of what he wants to become. He knows he wants to be a great hero.
Yeah.
Like
He wants to be the
people
strongest.
He wants to be the
And he just
strongest.
keeps fucking running.
And now he's on that path, and we're watching
Yeah.
him do it, and it's so fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's
His fight
he's a shonen
with
protagonist when
He
Subaru's
is.
like the seinen protagonist. That's the actual protagonist. It's so funny.
Garth's fight with Kaufma, especially because we know that Kaufma is on the level of the Divine Generals, he just chose not to take it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you not only realize just how powerful this kid has been the entire time, but also that he might have a road to being that strong because he's using his powers in ways you never
Yeah.
consider.
It's really
before.
creative.
Healing himself
ways.
mid-fight, gets slammed, head smashed and broken, repairs, turns into his form. I was like, what the
The stuff with the fire element gem too, all of
Oh,
that shit,
yeah.
that was crazy.
Mhm.
Bro,
Just
they're like,
burning away the infection from the inside.
Yeah.
they're just cranking away at these stones. They use so many. I was like, Jesus Christ, you were trying to hold on to them in Arc 5 and now you're just like eating
Well,
them.
that's the power of an empire.
Yeah, apparently Otto was using them up, Garf. I was like, holy shit. Is there gonna be any left? I guess they don't really care anymore because Rem's awake. So they don't really fucking need them. They could just nom.
But yeah, happy with where the Emilia camp is at?
Oh god, I can't wait to read more. I miss them. I miss them so much. And the side content was just so enjoyable. I think that's it for the Amelia camp. Well, we got, I think it's just Todd left.
Well, do we
just
want to go through any Valachian
any
characters
other
that really
new
stood out to you?
characters?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Medium and Flop. I
Yes!
absolutely adore them.
Our little sibling duo are just
They're
a
so
They are the
true
best.
highlight of Arc 7.
They are.
Medium is like one of my favorite characters. I understand why you guys wanted me to play her. That kind of no thought, head empty energy is what I bring, and I enjoy her thoroughly. I just love how focused she is.
Yeah.
Thanks for cheering me on, big bro. I'm gonna go beat everyone who's in front of me now.
Yeah, your power has made me so much stronger. He got kidnapped.
Jeez.
I'm so happy. He worked so hard to get kidnapped. What a great big bro.
His plans always work.
I mean, technically, he's kind of on the right track for his vengeance. I didn't realize he was serious about his vengeance. I got kind of sidetracked by the fact that, like, Todd was on a fucking bloody
Was breaking
rampage.
his skull open.
Yeah. So when Chase reminded me of that the other day, I was like, oh yeah, he really has been planning for revenge this whole time. And oh yeah, that's why he's cool with Village Chief Kun. Does he even realize that's Vincent the whole time? Is my question.
I don't
think
believe
he
so, no.
suspects something, but
Okay.
I don't think he knows exactly who
That's
he is.
why he never takes off the Oni mask around him. That makes sense.
Well, he doesn't take it off around anyone.
That's true. But yeah, knowing he has ties to Balleroy, and so does Medium, and the fact that he was killed off, and I'm assuming, even though, well, okay, I guess Madeline didn't know the connection between Flop, Medium, and Balleroy, clearly. And also Balleroy just, like, has a dragon, and so Medium and
A
Flop
flying
also.
Dragon,
A flying
specifically.
dragon.
Not like Volcanica.
Not like a flying dragon. And they have his, like, baby teeth. And I realized they had little teeth on them, but it never hit me until they started complaining about it. And Kid Medium is just such a good foil to Abel, 100%. Like, he can't say no to her. And when
No,
she
she's
talks about...
so sweet.
She's so sweet. And when she talks about her horrific backstory, he's like, and I will have that orphanage absolutely obliterated by morning. Moving on. No checking in.
Adding
on
to
you, okay?
to-do list.
Just
Reforming the orphanage system. Yes, tick that box.
another thing you say was awful about your life. I am gonna go back and find every single
I'm
person
sorry.
that hurt you and break them.
I'm sorry, you said they do what to my subjects? Interesting.
Interest.
Reminder to reward Countess Dracoy later.
Yes. Promote her rank in the Empire?
Countess Dracoy is such a fun character. as
Isn't
well.
she fucking best? I love her.
Yeah,
she's so
she's great.
fun.
Her interaction with Roswell is phenomenal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ram trying to get more
Rabbing
info.
jealous.
She's so jealous.
Jealous, and then also trying to pry for info is hilarious.
Yeah.
Countess Dracoy just really shooting her shot at everyone who's powerful.
She's got
and
the
attractive.
swag.
She does
And
have
nobody
she
wants
has
her.
the riz.
And nobody
I want
wants-
her. Serena, I'm right here. I work with flying objects too. Come on, we have so much in common.
If only you guys were in that world. Like Roswell said no, obviously he's obsessed with Echidna. Abel said no, obviously he's obsessed with his own path. But even he's like, you're kind of good.
How old is she, I wonder?
I think she's late 30s.
Yeah, something like that.
She's near 30, late 20s, I think.
Yeah, absolutely adore her. I love that there's so many people in Wallachia where you have to be powerful and big who are just, they actually care about people. They just care about them in a weird roundabout way. And like, don't necessarily want violence, but will use violence if necessary. Mm-hmm. Like, I think Medium's a good reflection of that. Like, she doesn't necessarily want to fight people, but like, if she's got to do it, like, she's going to fucking throw down. She's not going to kill them.
At least 35, if not older.
Violence is the Wallachian way, okay?
Violence is the Wallachian way.
Strength is the Wallachian way.
Strength is the Wallachian way, yes.
Yes.
And we see many different interpretations of what strength could be.
That's true.
Exactly.
Which people definitely play into that quite a bit, where like, it definitely seems like they find a strength that isn't just violence or isn't just overpowering. Like Flop. Floppy's a merchant. Mm-hmm. He uses his skilled speech to just like to know everybody.
And he feels like he lives up to the Wallachian ideology perfectly.
Everyone's competing. Mm-hmm. That's the case of it. Yeah. Is what I'm trying to say.
It's also what makes like specifically to give you a bit of extra context, Kai, it's what makes Abel, like Vincent's reign as emperor, so different from previous emperors that have come before him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like a different idea of what the strength of an emperor means, basically.
Which I like. I like that people are able to play with that, which could make sense why this great disaster that is happening could actually turn into something good for Wallachia. Maybe not for the traditionalists, but for the new age.
The new age, the younger generation.
Yes.
To come. Like, it's why characters like Burstets and Old Bart exist.
Yeah. The old boomers. I think before we get on to the antagonist of this whole thing, I'll bring up the Shrewdrocks, because I haven't really spent much time on them. But I love them.
You did the arc.
What?
The arc didn't spend enough time on them either.
Yeah, I know. I'm so mad about it.
They were there during the first, third, and then they kind of disappeared.
You could definitely tell that Tepe had ideas for the Shrewdrocks, and then they just became, backup. Which is fine. I wish we had more Kuna Holly time. Honestly, I love those two.
I wish
I
we
agree.
did
they're
too.
good.
Yeah,
they're good.
They're probably one of the most compelling dynamics of the bunch.
Mm-hmm. Ms.
I also just like Mizelda as a character. She's just fun to have on the
she's
page.
really entertaining.
Oh my god.
She's very confident.
Otto handsome. Yeah. And it's like, ooh, you're handsome. I'll take what you say. Yeah. For sure.
I'll take the handsome man. Yeah. She's good. I like Shrewdrocks. They're interesting. Their culture and the way that they act and the themes they set up for the arc and stuff like that. Yeah. It's very nice. Also, their conflict is very obvious why the nation needs reforming when you see what happens to them.
Yeah. And it's, it's commentary on indigenous cultures as well, and, places trying to get into indigenous people's area as well, and seeing how that changes. I think the conflict of them being brought into this battle wasn't fully actualized as well. They probably have more reservations about it, but at the same time too, I guess people are actively trying to go kill them, so
it's more brushed up as like an ancient oath to a emperor they made a promise to pass.
Yeah, kind of which makes it, and it clearly partway through Tepe seems to be like, oh yeah, I gotta change this up a bit, because the Charita line, it did suck. It did. It felt so fast and random. I think it could build up to more in the future, especially with the observers and the stargazers, but clearly she did not have to keep going with that plan, because she didn't have to was a stargazer
to do it at all. You're right, because she wasn't a stargazer.
She's not.
It was her soul sister.
It was her friend. Yeah, her friend or her soul sister. Yes.
And so all she was doing is just repeating one line from a prophecy that she got.
Yeah.
Which I guess
propaganda.
It comes to that makes sense why it was cut off so fast. I feel like it would have been nice to spend a bit more time on Tarita kind of like understanding like, oh, that's what it means. We eventually get what the Stargazers do with Ubilk later, which works out. The Soul Sisters, I think it definitely came along after, because I was kind of stuck on the fact that Holly and Kuna didn't mention Soul Sisters necessarily when they were traveling with Rem, Subaru, and Louie early on, just before they meet Flop and Medium. I brought it up in my like little chats that I had with on our Discord, but some people were like, "Oh, well, he probably just changed it and blah blah blah," but which makes sense. It'll probably get done later, but that's something I did notice, and it probably would have made that scene a little more impactful if he had realized the Soul Sister thing early on. Obviously, you can't always do that, and now I wonder if that's going to play in with Rem and Ram as well, or Satella and Amelia, if that's also a thing. Because it seems that if you're born on the same day, that you are called the Soul Sisters.
That's like a separate connection from being directly related to someone, though.
Yeah, I think it's just a cultural aspect of them. It's not. I don't think there's any actual magic
to it.
True, but I think something could also potentially be further than that too.
I think there is
a tie-in
because of honestly the color scheme of what is her name, Mirioli and Tarita, as well as the fact that they were born on the same day and soul sisters, and that Tarita has a massive inferiority complex compared to her actual sister. That it was meant to be a Ram and Rem parallel.
Yeah.
That the characters and their plotline were not needed for the final version of Arc 7, and thus were dropped halfway through.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Too bad. It would have been interesting, but also it's very interesting the way it is. I wish Strudox had more of a presence, but they are so very
cool
fun.
Building. Cool flair.
Cool flair. Yeah.
Always like badass women.
Yeah, they are badass. I think that's it. Besides Todd and Jamal. Yeah. Todd. I hate him. I fucking hate him. Toddington.
Ain't he the worst?
I think he deserves nothing good in life. I hope he dies miserably.
What a menacing guy though, right?
Yeah, he's awful. Absolutely atrocious. I heard that some people disagreed with your guys' takes that he is a sociopath. I agree with the boys. He 100% displays everything you can find on sociopaths available. Yes, he has a fiance, but it does not seem like he's necessarily in love. I heard we're going to learn more in Arc 8. But, yeah, he doesn't speak about her like Subaru speaks about his girls, his posse, or like anyone else who's in love speaks about their partner. He's just like, I got to get back to her. I just got to get back to her. It's so cold.
Yeah, it's something that he earns, and obviously he feels like he's above his own violence. Like he justifies it every single time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's
better than everybody. He's not a soldier.
He's a coward.
Yeah, he's too cowardly to look at the truth of what he's doing.
And as he says in this arc, he's not a warrior. He's a soldier. He's not someone who respects the spirit of what a warrior is in this universe. He's a cold, calculating killer.
Yeah, he kills just for the ends justify the means. He's like,
for the hell of it.
I must do this because it's the only way to get what I want.
It's the only way to survive. If I don't kill them first, they're just going to kill me, because obviously I'm thinking of every way that I can kill them. So
yeah, he's very fearful.
Yeah.
He projects onto other people his own sociopathy.
He's honestly kind of like if Meili had grown up to be an adult without the intervention of Emilia and Subaru. Like he is murder becomes a habit as a person.
I would agree with that. I hate him. He made it so it was really hard for me to get through the arc itself. It was really hard to read for me.
It was scary.
It's very scary. As somebody who's encountered a sociopath in my life, it was just it is an exact parallel to interacting with that person. And as you get to know them, they start very charismatic, this and that. You start to notice the odd thing as you get closer to them. And then eventually they drop that mask and they are just this awful person with no anything, no feeling, no empathy,
a shallow,
very
empty person.
Focus on themselves, what they want, what they need. And a lot of the time, what they need is nothing good. And he seems just like that. And he needs to be surrounded by people who are less than him, or he deems as less than, in order to get what he wants. I mean, he keeps Jamal around because he thinks he's better than Jamal. He assumes that Jamal just dies at one point, just fucking leaves without him.
Doesn't even remember what side his eye patch is on.
Yeah, like
He doesn't
moments
remember
later.
Yeah.
His brother-in-law, his comrade in arms, the person he's been fighting with
The
the
person
longest.
who Jamal considers his best friend, basically.
Yeah,
No feelings.
and it's just devastating.
no
but,
remorse.
like,
He's just dead.
A more fun part of Todd's character, and something that I really enjoyed, is just how terrified he is of Subaru the whole time.
Yeah. He is.
And that like reciprocal feeling of fear towards the other one. And it just getting to see what a full powered Subaru looks like from the enemy's perspective
Yes.
just so satisfying.
It's like
hightailed it.
it's pro Subaru propaganda from his perspective. Like it's literally
Yeah,
like,
100%.
oh my god, this guy is genuinely the biggest threat ever. Whenever he always goes side quests, like whenever he's doing his side quest, whenever he sees Subaru pop up, it's like, oh shit, my main quest is back. I have to kill this guy, otherwise I'm dead.
Yeah,
Go get him.
I think like the crazy thing about Todd is that he's the most naturally skilled, intelligent fighter that we've seen in the series. Like everything that he does, how he adapts his plans, how he immediately on a dime, changes it, is so scary. It's so unnerving. It's like we've seen Subaru like win fights before just from like one perspective difference, right? He's like, okay, I just won't do that next time. But like he tries that because Todd and it just doesn't work,
Yeah.
Because Todd is literally not just a foil to Subaru, he's a foil to Return by Death as a power.
And he's a perfect soldier.
Is he? Because the
Is
perfect soldier Jamal is still successful in basically
that's
all that
true.
he does and gets to serve the Emperor.
Jamal is
Todd
the
is serving-
perfect soldier.
Todd
Todd is the perfect cannon fodder. Like when you want to go fight a war and you want someone on the front lines, you want to send the ones who no reserves will go out first.
This is, it's also what, like, it's why, like, whenever people are like, oh yeah, those sort of people that are in the military, they're the perfect soldier, when in reality, they kind of go against the whole, like, whilst initially, like, oh yeah, you kill people without, like, guilt and issue, that's a great benefit for people, but the camaraderie and importance of being back-to-back with people is actually the major component of, like, any military force.
Yeah, he's a lone wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jamal is definitely not that, and is perfect foil to Todd.
And it's very much a thing of Todd exemplifies everything that the supposed perfect Valachian is supposed to be, but he's not. But he's like a showing of the issues of Wallachia and all of their ugliness, basically.
Yeah, he is the toxic part of Walachia's meritocracy, shown in someone that doesn't actually have the power to back it up.
Yeah.
And just how malicious that makes him.
Yeah. Downright and like it's not black and white. He just is an evil person.
Yeah. I hope he's gone.
Scary.
Scary. I think that wraps up my thoughts on characters.
All
I'll
right.
continue.
Well,
You can
we
continue.
kind of hit your thoughts on the whole thing as a whole at the beginning, but
Yeah.
and we've hit some of the bigger themes along the way. Anything else that you really want to talk about for Arc 7?
I'm excited to read Arcade after this.
Have you been waiting to read it like anxiously? Because I
Yes.
feel like Arc 7 sets up Arc 8 so well that you're like, fuck, I can't stop reading.
Literally.
Well, that's because Arc 8 is just the rest of
I
Arc
know.
7.
It's more
Yes.
of Arc 7,
too,
yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, exactly.
I honestly, I really have nothing else, I don't think, because, I think I'll get most of my answers in a bit and I'll cook more. But right now, my big focus is on how does Satella play into this? What was actually the last great disaster?
Yep.
And what have the great disasters been? What other ones will look like? And how the hell does Al and Priscilla play into it? And when does Subaru become a man again? Well, a young man again.
I
Man.
guess one thing we can talk about is the premise of what's coming for Arc 8. Like this actual zombie apocalypse that's happening. What do you
never
think about that
expected-
as an idea for ReZero of all
Zombie.
stories?
A zombie apocalypse. I never expected that. It's gonna be fucked because there are so many dead people in Wallachia that are super fucking powerful that if Lamia is back from the dead and Balor is back from the dead, you better believe everyone else is. I'm assuming Ismail, who got literally like 5 fucking lines, is gonna be back. Like, why give him a whole name chapter if you're just gonna kill him right away? No, he's gotta have more. And also too, like, who else is there? They mentioned some other names. Trisha's probably gonna come back too. He's just died. And then who controls the zombies? Is it just the person who brings them back from the dead, or can they have their own thoughts?
Isn't it crazy that there was another time where we saw zombies?
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tricia and Kurgan.
Yep.
Yeah, I know,
okay,
right?
That's what I forgot. Okay, so because I have a theory that Sphinx, who's part of the Ryuzu clones, which yes, made by Echidna, so therefore Echidna, Pandora, Satella were all somehow together at some point in time for like just everything that's happened, or maybe Echidna and Pandora are working together some way, shape, or form.
Now you're on our energy.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Keep that energy for Arcade. Keep that energy for Arcade.
And because Teresia and Kurgan were like full, their actual bodies, they did not look like zombies. They didn't have the lines on them like these zombies have. So they were like the perfect form of zombies, doll things that Pandora made. Whereas Sphinx can only make like a half perfect one. Like they are still dead looking. They can't be the full version. And is that because they're an imperfect version like the Ryuzu clones are? Sphinx, I'm assuming, is also in that case. And does that mean Echidna is actually way more powerful than we think? Is Echidna potentially maybe something more cracked? And that's why she was so jealous of Amelia? Because, Satella has done something different? I don't know. That's where I'm cooking. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see what that meal turns out into in Arc 8.
Yeah, when we talk about that, I think we'll have a lot more to talk about with Arc 8.
I also want to point out there is a moth called the Pandora Sphinx moth, and I just want to put that out there.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Pandora also just recently became a NASA satellite. Sphinx is also a satellite.
So you're telling me that
Satella
Pandora
satellite.
wasn't Otto. Pandora is actually Sphinx.
No.
And Sphinx is actually a moth.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. They're moths.
Man, it's all coming
moths.
together.
I sound like a crackhead.
What do moths? Let's think that's symbolism of moths. Okay, that's enough for this episode.
Yeah, crackhead thoughts is typically where we have to call it. So I think that is a great place to end our Kyle's discussing Arc 7.
It's because I'm getting too close, everybody. That's why.
You are getting close to some things and we have to stop you.
Yay! I'm so smart! Thanks for having me on. I'll be back in a week for Arc 8.
And we
Did
will
you
be
miss
back with
me?
more Arc 9 not long after that.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Oh, wow.
If I
We'll
catch
have
up.
some stuff to talk about soon.
Yes,
gonna-
we have some stuff approaching.
Yay. If I
And,
catch up, I'll be joining.
Yeah, I was about to say, hopefully, Kyle's could join us for that.
I'm now
At
excited.
minimum, I am positive you'll be caught up by the time Arc 9 ends.
Yep.
True.
When's it going to end? Do we know yet?
Allegedly sooner than we might think,
I don't know.
but I'm not sure how true that is. That just seems to be a couple rumors floating around. But I think that's just because they don't see how the plot's wrapping up.
That's fair.
Or they think they see how the plot is about to wrap up and they might not be correct.
My God, I could not read Arc 7 live. There could have been multiple times where that shit was wrapped.
It was brutal, but that is in our other podcast.
Yeah.
So long, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone!
Bye.
Goodbye.